चूल्हा तक नहीं जला होगा। और सब लोग रो रहे हैं कि एक इतने लोकप्रिय नेता जिन्होंने जंगल में, पहाड़ में, दुर्गम इलाकों में जाकर लोगों के लिए काम किया, सरकार आपके द्वार कार्यक्रम के माध्यम से सरकारी योजनाओं को लोगों तक पहुंचाया, लड़कियों के लिए सावित्रीबाई फुले किशोरी समृद्धि योजना, पलाश प्राण ट्रैफिकिंग की समस्या को खत्म करने के लिए लॉन्च किया, और सबके लिए महिलाओं के लिए
सुरक्षित विधायक रहेंगे, आपके एकजुट रहेंगे, संभावना लगती है कि वहाँ पे कोई पहुँच बीजेपी की नहीं?
हमारे विधायक जहाँ भी रहेंगे बिल्कुल एकजुट रहेंगे, उन्होंने बार बार आश्वासन दिया है।
रांची में क्या डर?
जी कोई डर तो नहीं है, बस ऐसे ही टाइम पास। जी
मैम, चार्टर प्लेन से जाने की तैयारी है,
आप खुद ही पता कर लीजिएगा।
मैम आखिरी में केंद्र के बारे में क्या कहना चाहेंगे?
केंद्र के बारे में अभी तो फिलहाल सब कुछ माननीय गवर्नर के ऊपर है। राज्यपाल महोदय जल्द से जल्द समय दे दे, निर्धारित कर दे, ताकि हमारे विधायक दल के नेता माननीय हमेंत सोरेन जी,
क्योंकि बात तो जहाँ थी वहीं अटकी हुई
जी
है।
हमें उम्मीद तो पूरी है, लेकिन संशय भी है, दोनों साथ साथ है।
रांची में ही है,
ये आप लोग पता कर लीजिएगा प्लीज़, इस पर मैं अभी तत्काल कुछ नहीं बोलना
आप लोगों की कोई गुहार राज्यपाल से?
यही गुहार है कि हमें पता है कि आप लोकतंत्र की रक्षा करेंगे, उसका सम्मान करते हैं, और यही गुहार है कि जल्द से जल्द हमारे इस राज्य को, जो कि अभी अनाथ है, उसको सनाथ कर दे, और हमारे पार्टी के बहुत ही सीनियर और अनुभवी
गिनती तो
नेता,
सुना दी ना विधायकों की, अपने 43
बिल्कुल गिनती भी सुना दी, वहाँ समर्थन पत्र में सिग्नेचर भी था, वो तमाम 3 बस में भर के वहाँ खड़े भी थे। आज भी सभी लोग एकजुट होकर खड़े हो गए, सबकी फ़ोटो शाम को अभी कुछ देर पहले ही उसको भी जारी कर दिया गया, गवर्नर हाउस जाने के पहले ही उस फोटो को भी जारी कर दिया।
बजाय गिनती क्यों? परेड भी तो करा सकते थे, शरीर उपस्थित हो सकते थे सभी विधायक, वीडियो क्यों नहीं जाना पड़ा गिनती?
इसकी वजह ये है कि गवर्नर हाउस में अंदर जाने का परमिशन नहीं था। कल तमाम विधायक अंदर चले गए थे, तो उन्हें बहुत ही इंसल्ट करके गवर्नर हाउस से एक तरह से उनके जो वहाँ अधिकारी लोग थे, उन्होंने वो उतर भी गए थे, कुछ विधायक गवर्नर हाउस में प्रवेश करने के लिए। अंदर जाने की अनुमति गलती से शायद गार्ड ने दे दी थी, वो बाहर बस में खड़े थे, उसके बाद अंदर गए और वहाँ तत्काल उन्हें बस में वापस बैठा के उन्हें वापस कर दिया गया। इसलिए आज
राज्यपाल ने गृह मंत्रालय को भी,
ये उनकी क्या मंशा है इसी पर तो शक है, इसीलिए तमाम विधायक एकजुट है, और हम लोग चाहते हैं कि जल्द से जल्द यहाँ सरकार बने, क्योंकि लोकतंत्र यही कहता है कि जो पहले दावा ठोकता है, जिनके पास तमाम विधायक हैं, उनको तो सरकार बनाने ही देना है, इसके बाद ये देरी क्यों?
राष्ट्रपति शासन का डर है?
ये तो मैं नहीं बोल सकती, नहीं होना चाहिए राष्ट्रपति शासन।
थैंक यू मैम, थैंक यू सो मच।
So you just heard from Mahua Maji, who's the JMM member of parliament, and she also reiterates that we are concerned. Why is the governor taking so long to ensure that there is a next government in place? Do remember, these are allegations now that have been raised not just by the Congress, the JMM, the RJD, but even parties like the Samajwadi Party now have tweeted and said, why is the governor silent about what's going on in the state? The BJP, in the meantime, has hit out at the India alliance, and they say, because you're corrupt, you need to face the action of the law.
बेचा गया 7 करोड़ में। आप समझते ही हैं कि इसमें क्या क्या हुआ होगा। एक तो जब ईडी इसकी जांच करने लगी तो मालूम हुआ कि रांची में एक बड़ा गैंग ऑपरेट करता है, जो फेक डॉक्यूमेंट बना करके जमीन को अपने कब्जे में लेते हैं और उसको बेचते हैं। और उसमें कई आईएएस अफसर सहयोग करते थे, जिसमें एक श्रीमान छवि अग्रवाल भी थे, छवि रंजन, जो डिस्ट्रिक्ट मजिस्ट्रेट ऑफ रांची थे इनकी सरकार में, और दूसरे आईएएस अफसर अमित अग्रवाल थे, विष्णु अग्रवाल थे। और आपने सुना होगा एक पूजा सिंगल, जिनके घर से 19 करोड़ मिला था, वो सीनियर माइनिंग सेक्रेटरी, वो भी जेल गई थी। तो इन सबों को इनका प्रोटेक्शन रहता था। और एक कमाल के मुख्यमंत्री हमने देखा कि इन्होंने अपनी पत्नी के नाम से 11 एकड़ जमीन दी है उनके कंपनी के लिए। तो ये सब एंटीडेटेड जो रजिस्टर्ड डॉक्यूमेंट हुए, कई कलकत्ता में हुए, तो इसकी जांच चल रही है। तो आप आदिवासी समाज से आते हैं, तो आपका काम यही है क्या कि अपने नीचे जमीन स्कैम को प्रोत्साहित करना रांची के अंदर, और सेना की जमीन जिसे कोई छूता नहीं है, ये बड़े सवाल है। दूसरा, मैं फिर कहूंगा, अभी तो इसी में इनका रिमांड हुआ है, लेकिन जो माइनिंग स्कैम है, आज जब मैं आपसे बात कर रहा हूं तो ये बताना जरूरी है कि साहबगंज इलाके में ईडी ने जॉइंट इंस्पेक्शन किया था। 4,952 केस ऑफ इलीगल माइनिंग पिछले 3 साल में आया है, यानी श्रीमान हेमंत सोरेन के मुख्यमंत्री काल में आया है। और आप जान लीजिए 23.26 करोड़ क्यूबिक फीट ऑफ इलीगल माइनिंग हुआ है। 23.26 करोड़, कितने राशि का? 1,250 करोड़ का। मतलब ना कोई परमिशन है, ना कोई पट्टा है, किए जाओ। और आपको मालूम है कि इन्होंने रांची में 88 डेसिबल जमीन अपने नाम अलॉट कर दी थी माइनिंग के, अंगराहा ब्लॉक में रांची में। ये श्रीमान हेमंत सोरेन ने खुद अलॉट किया था।
झारखंड MLAs छोड़ो। There we see, ये देखिए, ये बस है जिसमें झारखंड के विधायक, तमाम विधायक ये
आपको बताएंगे। मालूम चला फ्लाइट कहीं और रोक दिया। जा रहे एयरपोर्ट एयरपोर्ट से तय करेंगे कहाँ जाना है। बिल्कुल जहाँ आप चाहेंगे वहीं जाएंगे।
राज्यपाल की क्या मंशा है?
राज्यपाल की मंशा देखते हुए हम लोग जा रहे हैं। हम लोग को कर क्या सकते हैं? क्या कर सकते हैं? महामहिम राज्यपाल जी जब बुलाएंगे तब जाएंगे। हमने कोशिश किया था कि हम लोग रहें।
राज्यपाल के बाहर आप देख रहे हैं, वहाँ लोगों के सिग्नेचर किए हुए देख रहे हैं। यहाँ पे आप देख रहे हैं वीडियो कॉल, सारे लोग हैं, सारे लोग उपस्थित हैं। तो जो लोगों ने लिख के दिया है वो सारी चीजें हैं। और हमने कहा है कि इसके अलावा और किसी ने कोई पेश
किया जाए।
राज्य की स्थिति को बद से बदतर बनाने का प्रयास किया जा रहा है और हम लोग नहीं चाहते कि कोई इस तरह की बात हो। इसलिए हम लोगों ने ये तय किया है कि हम लोग अपने विधायकों को बाहर ले जाएं। हम लोग कहीं नहीं जा रहे हैं, यहीं रह रहे हैं, आ रहे हैं। अभी तो आपको बाइट देंगे फुर्सत से। वो अभी तय नहीं है, जहां का मौसम साफ होगा वहां जाएंगे। पीछे चलिए। पक्की खबर है। क्यों पड़ी? रुकिए भैया, पीछे सर पीछे भाई क्या करना है? सभी विधायकों को यहाँ से हैदराबाद शिफ्ट किया जा रहा है और हैदराबाद शिफ्ट किए जाने से पहले की ये तस्वीर है कि सभी विधायक सर्किट हाउस से एक बस में सवार होकर आए हैं और उसके बाद एयरपोर्ट पे दो तस्वीर है। हालांकि कुछ विधायकों ने मीडिया से बात करते हुए विजुअल दिखाना यार।
So for the last few minutes, you've been looking at these images on your screens. This is coming in from the news agency ANI, and apparently this is again a testimony to the fact that all is not well when it comes to the state of Jharkhand. And Prakash, you know, we've been discussing about the various options right now before the JMM, the Congress, the RJD combined. Are they now packing all their MLAs to ensure that there is no horse trading? Where are they headed, Prakash?
They are headed to Hyderabad, I believe, and we've been told in the afternoon itself that three chartered flights had arrived at the Ranchi airport, and we were expecting this if the governor does not give any time to the JMM leader Hemant Soren to be sworn in as the Chief Minister of Jharkhand, then they will take this decision. And they've all had their bags packed, and I was running behind the bus, and I was speaking to all the MLAs who were present there, and also I managed to speak to Rajesh Thakur, the Congress president, who was also on a moving bus, saying that we are all going to South Hyderabad, and because in Telangana the Congress has the government, in Karnataka the Congress has their government, so the MLAs, the Congress and the JMM MLAs can be safe there, and no poaching can be done. And I was speaking to a few MLAs, Binod Singh as well as Sarfaraj Ahmad. They claimed that we have shown the videos of all the MLAs, 43 MLAs, to the governor. Despite that, he has not invited us to form the government. And also we requested for a parade of the MLAs, but that is also not being done. So we have no choice but to leave this state, because we fear that they would promote horse trading. Second, is that 5 MLAs led by Hemant Soren, Vinod Singh, Pradeep Yadav, Alamgir Alam of the Congress party, they've all stayed put in Ranchi, so that if any confirmation comes from the governor house, then Hemant Soren could be sworn in as the Chief Minister of the Jharkhand, and later on the MLAs can fly back from Hyderabad. So this is the plan of action. We'll wait and watch what the governor does till tomorrow. He has said that tomorrow the MLAs will be, the leader of the JMM will be informed about the decision. But the JMM claims, we have heard Mahua Manjhi saying that they have the support of MLAs, majority MLAs. The BJP still has not yet staked claim to form the government. So one wonders, the bone of contention is only, Deepthi, when two groups simultaneously stake claim to form the government. Here in Jharkhand, only one party, that is the JMM and the UP alliance, have a stake claim to form the government. The BJP has not yet come into the picture. Only Nishikant Dubey is alleging that the JMM has the support of only 35 MLAs, so it's a minority government. So, but the BJP will also have to come up with the picture. And if at all, in the case of two parties staking claim to form the government, it is up to the discretion of the governor, keeping in mind the physical presence of the MLAs, to invite that particular group to form the government. And second, if at all he has invited any formation to form the government, then there is a floor test. There is an option of floor test. So that option should not be shut. And third option is, of course, the president's rule. If at all the governor has given a report to the president of Union Home Ministry regarding the prevailing situation in the state, be it corruption, be it lawlessness in the state, on the basis of which president rule is imposed in the state, then the president rule can also be imposed. But around 24 hours have passed and Jharkhand is without a chief minister. One wonders about the reason. The constitutional expert can only explain about this. But having covered politics for a long time now, we understand the dynamics behind all this dilly-dallying, and I can simply put it in plain and simple words that it is a promotion of horse trading at the behest of the Governor C.P. Radhakrishnan.
Happening, Prakash, because just one look at the numbers will tell you that the ruling alliance there had 48 and the opposition, that is the NDA alliance, has 32. So they clearly need at least 10 more MLAs to be in the race. But at a point like this, where the governor has been apprised by this coalition that they have a majority of 43 MLAs, remember the majority mark is 41 here. Why has the governor largely been silent? What is he wanting to study? The coalition here believes, like Prakash said, that this could just be the beginning of horse trading. We are tracking that story closely. Prakash right now is, remember, en route to the airport, and we are learning that all these MLAs, we do not know still about a certain number, like what is the number of these MLAs who are en route right now, perhaps to Hyderabad or perhaps to Karnataka. And the idea is to ensure that they are able to save their MLAs, the flock of 43. This is the JMM, the RJD, the Congress and others combined. We'll keep you ahead on that big story. We'll thank Prakash also, who's been getting us all the latest. It's time for us to head into a quick break. On the other side, back with lots more.
Amity has been ranked India's #1 not-for-profit private university for 11th year, with top 10 ranked institutions in management, engineering, biotech, law, masscom, telecom, hospitality, fashion and more. Yet another top ranking for Amity University.
This is Republic Niva Bupa Studios, your one-stop destination for all the breaking news updates, and I am Shivangi Shukla.
This is Republic Niva Bupa Studio, your one-stop for all the breaking news updates, and I am Nikita Sahai.
This is Republic Niva Bupa Studio, your one-stop for all the breaking updates. I am Rakshita Mishra. This is Republic Niva Bupa Studio, your one-stop for all the breaking news updates, and I am Nikita Sahai. This is Republic Niva Bupa Studio, your one-stop for all the breaking updates. I am Rakshita Mishra.
This is Republic Niva Bupa Studios, your one-stop destination for all the breaking news updates, and I am Shivangi Shukla. All right, viewers, we are getting your top updates coming in right now. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman presented the interim budget, and a huge pitch was made for Viksit Bharat. We'll get to all the highlights of the interim budget in this show, but first the headlines we are tracking right now.
निर्मला जी का ये बजट देश के भविष्य के निर्माण का बजट है। मैं एक बार फिर सभी देशवासियों को इस ऐतिहासिक बजट के लिए शुभकामनाएं देता हूं।
Prime Minister hails interim budget, calls it a historic and inclusive budget for a new India. From Mudra Yojana loans to a boost to private sector, the government puts a focus on women and youth. No changes in the taxation or tax rates, but filing of tax returns to be made easier. Modi government announces interest-free loans for the next 50 years for private sector. And stand by for the exclusive interviews with top union ministers in a short while from now. Ladies and gentlemen, Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman finished her interim budget speech within an hour. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman has asserted that India's economy is going through a profound transformation while presenting the Narendra Modi government's last budget before the Lok Sabha polls due by May. And by this interim budget, we can surely say that the government is focused on improving conditions for the poor, women, youth and farmers, thereby setting the tone for welfare schemes to be announced in these areas. Take a look at this detailed report for more.
A comprehensive, non-populist budget announced just 3 months away from polls.
When our government, under the visionary and dynamic leadership of Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi, assumed office in 2014, the country was facing enormous challenges. With Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas as its mantra, the government overcame those challenges in right earnest. Structural reforms were undertaken. Pro-people programs were formulated and implemented promptly.
With no chance in income tax rates and slabs, the Modi government has opted for a fiscally prudent interim budget.
Over the last 10 years, the direct tax collections have more than trebled and the return filers swelled 2.4 times. I would like to assure the taxpayers that their contributions have been used wisely for the development of the country. The government has reduced and rationalized tax rates. Under the new tax scheme, there is now no tax liability for taxpayers with income up to 7 lakh rupees, up from 2.2 lakh rupees in the financial year 2013-14.
The Prime Minister hailed the budget and said India is in a sweet spot.
ये बजट विकसित भारत के 4 स्तंभ युवा, गरीब, महिला और किसान सभी को एम्पावर करेगा। निर्मला जी का ये बजट देश के भविष्य के निर्माण का बजट है। इस बजट में 2047 के विकसित भारत की नींव को मजबूत करने की गारंटी है। मैं निर्मला जी और उनकी टीम को बहुत-बहुत बधाई देता हूं।
With heavy focus on governance, development and performance, the government has projected a lower fiscal deficit in the poll year. Capital expenditure is also projected to be lower this year. A new housing scheme will be introduced for the middle class. The government plans to set up 5 integrated aqua parks. With 3 major railway corridor programs in the pipeline, Namo Bharat trains will be extended to more cities. Government plans to provide long-term interest-free loans for tourism development. With this budget, experts say India's future looks bright and steady. Bureau Report, Republic TV.
And viewers, after the announcement of the 2024 interim budget, Prime Minister Modi addressed the nation. The Prime Minister hailed the budget, calling it historic. PM Modi also said that this budget will empower all sections of the society. Here is a full report. Listen in to what the Prime Minister said a short while back.
इस बजट में कंटिन्यूटी का कॉन्फिडेंस है। ये बजट विकसित भारत के 4 स्तंभ युवा, गरीब, महिला और किसान सभी को एम्पावर करेगा। निर्मला जी का ये बजट देश के भविष्य के निर्माण का बजट है। इस बजट में 2047 के विकसित भारत की नींव को मजबूत करने की गारंटी है। मैं निर्मला जी और उनकी टीम को बहुत बहुत बधाई देता हूं। साथियों, इस बजट में युवा भारत की युवा आकांक्षाओं का, भारत की यंग एस्पिरेशंस का प्रतिबिंब है। बजट में 2 महत्वपूर्ण निर्णय लिए गए हैं। रिसर्च और इनोवेशन पर 1 लाख करोड़ रुपए का फंड बनाने की घोषणा की गई है। बजट में स्टार्टअप्स को मिलने वाली टैक्स छूट के विस्तार का भी ऐलान किया गया है। साथियों, इस बजट में फिस्कल डेफिसिट को नियंत्रण में रखते हुए कैपिटल एक्सपेंडिचर को 11,11,111 करोड़ रुपए की ऐतिहासिक ऊंचाई दी गई है। अर्थशास्त्रियों की भाषा में कहें तो एक प्रकार से स्वीट स्पॉट है। इससे भारत में 21वीं सदी के आधुनिक इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर के निर्माण के साथ ही युवाओं के लिए अनगिनत रोजगार के नए अवसर तैयार होंगे।
And viewers, Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman unveiled the 2024 interim budget in the Parliament for a record 6th time. While the pre-poll budget has been largely appreciated by people from different sectors, it has also drawn criticism from opposition parties. Take a look at this report for more.
With just 3 months to go for polls, the Modi government on Thursday announced the non-populist pre-poll budget. The much-awaited interim budget was presented by Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman in the Lok Sabha. As BJP called it a stepping stone towards a developed India,
इस इंटरिम बजट के कारण ही जो भी इंडिकेशन इस बजट से मिले हैं कि हमारी इकोनॉमी जो आज दुनिया की टाइप 5 कंट्रीज में है, उसकी साइज बढ़कर 2027 तक मोर देन $5 ट्रिलियन जाएगी और 2030 आते आते मोर देन $7 ट्रिलियन तक।
दूरदर्शी बजट है। इस बजट में मातृशक्ति का दर्शन है तो राम राज्य का विजन भी है। इस बजट में विकसित भारत का संकल्प है तो आत्मनिर्भर भारत का लक्ष्य भी है। यह बजट गरीब कल्याण, किसान का उत्थान, मातृशक्ति का सम्मान और नौजवानों की मुस्कान समाहित है।
The opposition was quick to term the budget a jumla, adding that there is nothing in the budget for the Aam Aadmi.
ये गरीबों की रोजाना खर्चा करने की ताकत बढ़ाने की बजट है ये क्या? तो ये बजट से आम चुनाव जो होने वाला है इस साल, ये आम चुनाव में आम लोगों को लुभाने की बजट है और कुछ नहीं है।
I think the budget was extremely disappointing because the two major issues of this country today, one being inflation and the other being a complete lack of jobs in the country, I think that was not mentioned in the budget.
Meanwhile, the India Inc. hailed the budget as being fiscally prudent.
Capex up, fiscal deficit down. Now, within that, there is, of course, commitment being made for poor, women, youth and farmers, 4 very important constituencies.
The budget is very bold, very inclusive, very pragmatic and I think touching all sectors of economy and all sections of society. So from that point of view and considering it was an interim budget, I think the Finance Minister has done an outstanding job.
The interim budget lays emphasis on health sector and women empowerment. Bureau Report, Republic TV.
extremely disappointing because the two major issues of this country today, one being inflation and the other being a complete lack of jobs in the country, I think that was not mentioned in the budget. It's very unfortunate. You see, women are forming only 23% of the workforce. Women are only owning 10% of startups, only owning 20% of MSMEs. So what has the budget stated in order to address this gender gap? There was absolutely no mention of it. And for years altogether, even though we are 50% of the population, if you look at the gender budget, it is stuck at 5%. Why steps were not taken in order to introduce more women-friendly schemes? And if you look at the women's security issue, they repeatedly bring about the same schemes.
इस बजट का सिर्फ एक ही मकसद है और वो मकसद ये है कि जो इस वित्तीय वर्ष का पहला क्वार्टर है उसमें ये सरकार का कामकाज चलता रहे। जो चिंता वाली बात है वो ये है कि पिछले वित्तीय वर्ष में, जो वित्तीय वर्ष 31 मार्च 2024 को खत्म होगा, 18 लाख करोड़ रुपए का बजटरी डेफिसिट है और ये बजटरी डेफिसिट अगले आने वाले साल में जो आंकड़े वित्त मंत्री ने प्रस्तुत किए हैं वो बढ़ेंगे।
समस्त आशा बहनें जिनकी संख्या 12 लाख और आंगनबाड़ी 33 लाख के आसपास हैं, उनको आयुष्मान कार्ड की सुविधा मिलेगी। आयुष्मान कार्ड का मतलब पूरे परिवार का होता है। अगर उस घर में कोई आईएएस भी होगा ना और माँ आंगनबाड़ी होगी, करती होगी, तो उसका बनेगा। तो इस हिसाब से लगभग 1.25 करोड़ के आसपास लोग प्रभावित होंगे, लाभान्वित होंगे, प्रभावित किए होंगे। तो 5 लाख प्रति व्यक्ति प्रति साल आंगनबाड़ी और आयुष्मान ये आंगनबाड़ी और आशा बहनों के पूरे परिवार का इलाज किया जाएगा। ये स्वास्थ्य अंत्योदय करने का काम श्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी ने किया।
आज 5वीं बड़ी आर्थिक शक्ति के रूप में भारत उभर चुकी है। 10वें नंबर पे थी, 3 साल में तीसरी बड़ी आर्थिक शक्ति के रूप में उभरेगी। हमारी महिला, नौजवान, युवा और हमारे किसान को नई ऊर्जा और नया स्रोत देने का कार्य के लिए संकल्पित ये सरकार है और भारत एक आत्मनिर्भर भारत, भारत एक विकसित भारत और भारत एक विश्व गुरु के रूप में स्थापित होने जा रहा है।
निश्चित रूप से आज का अंतरिम बजट बहुत ही अच्छा प्रस्तुत हुआ है और जो विकसित भारत की जो कल्पना है उसको चरितार्थ करने वाला ये बजट पेश हुआ है, जिसमें महिला है, युवा है, किसान है, गरीब कल्याण है और आने वाले समय में इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर की दृष्टि से भारत कैसे ताकतवर बन सके, मजबूत बन सके और अर्थव्यवस्था की दृष्टि से भी भारत और अधिक कैसे आर्थिक दृष्टि से मजबूत हो, इन सभी बातों को ध्यान में रखते हुए आज का बजट प्रस्तुत हुआ है और बहुत ही शानदार बजट है।
This interim budget has summarized in very beautiful and great detail the qualitative and quantitative transformation that India has undergone under Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji's 10 years, the qualitative and quantitative transformation and expansion of our economy, and how every Indian, whether it is from the east, northeast, north, south, east, west, whether he or she is from a village or a town, every Indian has been impacted in some way or the other by Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji's determined policies and governance ideology of Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas, Sabka Vishwas.
सबसे पहले फुल टाइम फर्स्ट एवर इन आवर हिस्ट्री फाइनेंस मिनिस्टर, वुमेन फाइनेंस मिनिस्टर, जिन्होंने 6वां बजट दिया है। और उसके बाद सबसे ज़रूरी बात यह है कि महिला, युवा, गरीब, किसान सबके लिए बजट है। युवा सबसे ज़रूरी।
Well, the highlight of this budget is an interim budget, right? So the interim budget is basically a directional budget. It tells you the intent of the government on the way forward. Post the elections, we all expect the present government to come into power again. And so it's a statement really of this government's intent. And the intent is on the growth path, inclusive growth.
Amity has been ranked India's #1 not-for-profit private university for 11th year, with top 10 ranked institutions in management, engineering, biotech, law, masscom, telecom, hospitality, fashion and more. Yet another top ranking for Amity University.
This is Republic Niva Bupa Studio, your one stop for all the breaking news updates, and I am Nikita Sahai.
This is Republic Niva Bhupa Studio, your one stop for all the breaking updates. I am Rakshita Mishra.
This is Republic Niva Bhupa Studio, your one stop for all the breaking news updates, and I am Nikita Sahai.
This is Republic Niva Bhupa Studio, your one stop for all the breaking updates. I am Rakshita Mishra.
This is Republic Niva Bhupa Studios, your one-stop destination for all the breaking news updates, and I am Shivangi Shukla. This is Republic Niva Bhupa Studios, your one-stop destination for all the breaking news updates, and I am Shivangi Shukla.
The type of things which have been done for different sections of the society, be it the rural economy, be it, say, Ayushman Bharat expansion, the focus on women, these are all very, very critical areas which one sees very prudent budget, if I can say, very prudent, and a budget for which lays down the foundation for a very strong growth path for India.
तो देखिए अनाउंसमेंट जो है वो बेहतरीन है, क्योंकि आज जो बजट भी इंटरिम था, कोई बहुत ज़्यादा मुझे लगा नहीं कि जिसके अंदर कुछ चीज़ें ऐसी थी जो शायद आ सकती थी, मैं उम्मीद कर रहा था, लेकिन शायद कहीं बिकॉज ऑफ इंटरिम बजट तो वो नहीं सुनाई दी हैं। लेकिन ऑफ कोर्स जो सबसे बड़ी बात थी कि इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर के ऊपर काफ़ी ज़्यादा फोकस था। जो कैपिटल एक्सपेंडिचर की बात हुई, जैसे मैंने आपको बजट से ही पहले कहा था कि उसके अंदर एक काफ़ी बड़ा अमाउंट इंक्रीज होना चाहिए, तो वो कहीं ना कहीं कंसीडर किया गया है कि जो लास्ट ईयर 10 लाख करोड़ का कैपिटल एक्सपेंडिचर था उसे बढ़ाकर 11 लाख करोड़ से भी ज़्यादा किया गया है। वो एक बहुत बड़ा वेलकम पॉइंट है। और दूसरी बड़ी बात, सबसे ज़्यादा जो है बॉटम ऑफ द पिरामिड पे ध्यान दिया गया है।
QS and THE, the world's foremost university rankings organizations, have ranked Amity amongst the top 3% universities globally, making it among the very few Indian universities to be included in both rankings. Yet another top ranking for Amity University.
This is Republic Niva Bupa Studio, your one-stop for all the breaking news updates, and I am Nikita Sahai.
This is Republic Niva Bupa Studio, your one-stop for all the breaking updates. I am Rakshita Mishra.
This is Republic Niva Bupa Studios, your one-stop destination for all the breaking news updates, and I am Shivangi Shukla. This is Republic Niva Bupa Studios, your one-stop destination for all the breaking news updates, and I am Shivangi Shukla.
This is Republic Niva Bupa Studio, your one-stop for all the breaking news updates, and I am Nikita Sahai. This is Republic Niva Bupa Studios, your one-stop destination for all the breaking news updates, and I am Shivangi Shukla.
This is Republic Niva Bupa Studio, your one-stop for all the breaking updates. I am Rakshita Mishra.
This is Republic Niva Bupa Studio, your one-stop for all the breaking news updates, and I am Nikita Sahai.
This is Republic Niva Bupa Studio, your one-stop for all the breaking updates. I am Rakshita Mishra.
QS and THE, the world's foremost university rankings organizations, have ranked Amity amongst the top 3% universities globally, making it among the very few Indian universities to be included in both rankings. Yet another top ranking for Amity University.
This is Republic Niva Bupa Studios, your one-stop destination for all the breaking news updates, and I am Shivangi Shukla.
Amity has been ranked India's #1 not-for-profit private university for 11th year, with top 10 ranked institutions in management, engineering, biotech, law, masscom, telecom, hospitality, fashion and more. Yet another top ranking for Amity University.
This is Republic Niva Bupa Studio, your one-stop for all the breaking news updates, and I am Nikita Sahai.
This is Republic Niva Bupa Studio, your one-stop for all the breaking updates.
Burning Question, powered by Kent Oro.
What is happening in the state of Jharkhand? The BJP alleges that multiple MLAs of the Gathbandhan are miffed with Hemant Soren. They've gone incommunicado. The Mahagathbandhan says we have our numbers intact. Hemant Soren earlier has met with the governor, discussed the formation of the new government, but he says still now there is no invitation for the formation of the new government. As anger continues to mount against the INDI MPs over the secessionist comment, Congress now tries to distance itself. After a wait of nearly 31 years, puja is performed at the Gyanvapi complex in Varanasi.
निर्मला जी का ये बजट देश के भविष्य के निर्माण का बजट है। मैं एक बार फिर सभी देशवासियों को इस ऐतिहासिक बजट के लिए शुभकामनाएं देता हूं।
The Prime Minister hails the interim budget. He calls this a historic and an inclusive budget for a new India. There are no changes in taxation or tax rates, but filing of tax returns will be made easier. A very good evening. You're watching The Burning Question and I'm Deepthi Sachdeva. On a day when we should have actually just spoken about the budget, the highlights, what have you got, what does this mean in the run-up to the big elections of 2024 that is just now a few months away, there is another story not very far from Delhi that has been making headlines. This is about what's really happening in Jharkhand. Jharkhand, remember, otherwise is a small state. But Jharkhand is one of the states that was not ruled by the BJP. But then there was a chief minister there who apparently is dealing with serious charges of corruption. So Hemant Soren is arrested late last evening. Close to about 9:30 is where the agency called the Enforcement Directorate confirms his arrest. Now post that, it's about 8 p.m. that we are meeting right now and putting out this broadcast. The state of Jharkhand has no chief minister. Neither has the state been put under governor's rule. So who really is calling the shots in the state? On your screen is a video that has been released by the Gadbandhan there that comprises of the JMM, that is a Jharkhand Mukti Morcha, that is being led by Hemant Soren. He, remember, now is no longer the chief minister. He's been put under arrest. The Congress, the RJD and the NCP. Now, this is a video that the entire Mahagathbandhan has released earlier, and they all count these MLAs. These are about 43 of them that you see on your screens. The assembly there has a majority mark of 41. It's an 81 assembly seat. One seat is vacant. And this entire combination, they claim, has the number of 43. So they say we have 43 MLAs. They go to the governor. They say we are ready, and this is the list of all the MLAs with us, and they've also said that we are ready for a parade in case the governor wants it. But what has the governor said? There has been complete silence from the Raj Bhavan so far. All that we heard that has come in from these MLAs who went and met with the governor is the fact that he needs a little bit more time to study, and then he will tell us what is the next course of action. Now, in the middle of all this, in the last 1 hour, there has been hectic activity that has been reported at the Ranchi airport. You must have guessed it, horse trading. Now, is the condition there conducive for horse trading? The BJP is alleging that a lot of their MLAs are incommunicado. They do not have the numbers that they try to show. But this Mahagathbandhan says we have the numbers, but they are running so scared right now that they have packed off their MLAs in a bus first to the airport, and then they are headed to Hyderabad, is what we are learning. So the story is moving very fast, and just in this last 1 week, you've seen that government change happening in Bihar, where Nitish Kumar is sworn in as the chief minister. Once he exits the Mahagathbandhan there, moves on to the BJP in just 3 hours. And who has forgotten what happened in Maharashtra, where once Devendra Fadnavis and Ajit Pawar, remember, took oath at 5 a.m. in the morning. So what is happening in Jharkhand is the governor letting a situation continue that promotes horse trading. We are putting a spotlight on that big story. Before I make way to listen into a lot of reactions, I want to begin this show by getting a very special guest with us, PDT Achari, who's the former Secretary General of the Lok Sabha. He's joining us live only to put in spotlight what we are seeing right now. Sir, good evening, and thank you for speaking to us in Republic. I'm sure you must be well aware of what's happening in the state of Jharkhand. The opposition there, that is the BJP, says we must give the governor enough time so that he can make up his mind. But on the other side, the JMM, Congress, the RJD combined say that the governor right now is ensuring
that horse trading is promoted. So what is your reading? What's going on, sir?
Actually, when a chief minister resigns, the governor advises him to continue in office till an alternative arrangement is made. This is the usual practice which is followed by all the governors whenever a chief minister resigns. The reason is that under Article 163 of the Constitution, there has to be a council of ministers to advise the governor in exercise of his constitutional functions. Now, this means there shall always be a council of ministers available to advise the governor, which also means the governor cannot act independently. The governor cannot Council of Ministers.
Okay, so I think
without the
by mistake
advice of the
you've
Council
muted
of
yourself.
Ministers, the governor cannot act. And that is why the existence of a Council of Ministers is very necessary. And that is why the governor advises the outgoing chief minister to continue in office. Because when a chief minister resigns, the entire cabinet, entire Council of Ministers also goes. We cannot have a situation where there is no Council of Ministers in existence to advise the governor. So that is the situation. I don't know whether the governor has advised the chief minister, the outgoing chief minister, Mr. Soren, to continue in office, because that is something which the governor is required to do under the constitution. And after that, the governor will certainly engage himself in finding who can form the government which will be durable. In fact, I must also make it clear that the majority of a leader who is appointed as the chief minister shall be decided by the House, because that test will have to be done by the House and not by the governor. Governor acts on a certain impression or certain information that he gets. For example, the party which has the largest number or which has the majority in the House, or a combination of parties, they go to the governor and stake a claim, and they say that these are the members who are with me. I have the majority in the House, so I may be sworn in as the chief minister. Naturally, the governor, he goes by the list, and after that, he will ask him to come and he will be sworn in as the chief minister. Then, of course, the governor will ask him to prove his majority on the floor of the House. This is the process. And I do not know why this process has not been gone through in Jharkhand, or why there is so much of delay. I do not know. I do not want to, in any case, I do not want to comment on the political aspect of it. I was just commenting on the constitutional aspect.
Okay. Okay, I think what you said, sir, is very important. And my the next follow-up question, that's also going to be my last question, is that there are no reports right now that Hemant Soren has been asked to continue as a caretaker chief minister. So in that case right now, who's in charge of Jharkhand? Because Champai Soren, who's the JMM pick and the Gathbandhan pick, walks into the Raj Bhavan. They say we have 43 MLAs. Now, after the Bombay judgment, we know it's very clear that a floor test is going to be the ultimate test, which will prove whether, any government has a majority or not. But the very fact that there is a delay, do you believe this is unconstitutional, sir?
Well, if what you say is right, that is, the governor has not asked Mr. Soren to continue in office till an alternative arrangement is made, then there is a constitutional crisis. Because there is no council of ministers, and the governor cannot act on his own, and the governor cannot take over the government unless the president takes over the government. That means the president's rule. Only then the governor gets the authority to run the government. Otherwise, the governor on his own cannot run the government without the aid of the Council of Ministers. So if the Council of Ministers the chief minister outgoing chief minister has not been asked to continue in office, and the president's rule has not been imposed, that means there is a constitutional crisis. And the governor is simply answerable for this.
Okay, I think you make a lot of these things very clear. Something that has been in the conversation, sir, for the last many hours. I thank you for your time, PDT Achari, who is actually clearing the air on what can happen, what should happen. The former Secretary General of the Lok Sabha, he's telling us what the Constitution says. Thank you, sir. Look forward to talking to you again. And let me also introduce a panel of guests. And Guru Prakash, spokesperson of the BJP. Nikhil Jain is an advocate. He's a political analyst. He also leans towards the Congress. We also have Tanuj Khatri, who's a spokesperson of the JMM. Thank you to all of you gentlemen for being patient as we were speaking to PDT Achari. So Guru, let me ask you what a lot of people today are saying. Do you believe the governor and the silence of the governor, Guru, might create a situation for horse trading? I mean, in Bihar, you have Nitish Kumar who goes in. Within 15 minutes, he's given the appointment. He goes in later. There is an oath taking. We know what happened in Maharashtra is also what the opposition alleges. Why is it taking so long for the governor to respond to the situation in Jharkhand? Guru.
Deepthi, we need to understand a couple of things. First, it's not appropriate to compare the situation in Jharkhand to the situation in Bihar. Point number one, which is very different, because there is no allegation of corruption on the sitting Chief Minister of Bihar. On the other hand, in Jharkhand, you have a sitting Chief Minister who is facing an allegation of a gross violation of principle of natural justice. Sitting on the chair, you have not only operated on conflict of interest, you have allotted a mine to yourself. There are cases of disproportionate assets as well.
But he's arrested, no, Guru. He's arrested, he's resigned.
Do we... No, the point is, you are comparing. See, Deepthi, you are comparing a situation. It's like comparing apple and oranges. It's an inappropriate comparison.
I'm just talking
Deepthi,
about the situation about government formation.
It is absolutely not the case that is in Bihar.
I'm just speaking about the delay in government formation.
I agree with you, but the question... No, that is the discretion of the governor. That is the discretion of the governor. If the leader-elect of the Jharkhand Mukti Morcha has the confidence, he can go and parade it. There is absolutely no bar on it. But if the governor wants to study the situation, if the governor wants to closely assess, examine what's going on, because you and I, the entire country is very well aware of the fact that the Chief Minister was on the run. The Chief Minister was not able to locate. Where is he hiding? So I think it's a very peculiar, it's a very different situation in Jharkhand right now. And the governor, in my limited opinion, has every right to assess, evaluate, examine, and then take a call on anything. And absolutely, the people who are comparing the situation in Bihar and Jharkhand, it's absolutely not appropriate, because the situation in Bihar was completely different, like the situation in Jharkhand. The Chief Minister is facing gross violation. We need to understand.
Okay. You say there is no way, Nikhil, that you can compare what's happened in Bihar to what's happened in Jharkhand. Now, that is, Guru's way of responding to this. It's also good to have Monojit with us, and we are trying to get Tanuj, who represents the JMM, also with us in this conversation. But Nikhil, what is the problem? I mean, if the governor is taking some time to respond to what is going on, the point is that you're running scared, and that's the reason why you've packed your MLAs, and we are learning they are moving on to Hyderabad.
Why is it that when the BJP engages in all these unconstitutional acts, their appointed governors engage in all these unconstitutional acts, we are going around blaming the opposition for being scared? It is the people of the country who should be scared that today the government of India is one that is willing to toss the constitution into the bin. The governor has no right to examine or assess or study the situation. He can go and do that in his study room. It is not his legal right. PDT Achari, who is the constitutional expert on this, has already made that clear. The difference between the Bihar situation and Jharkhand situation is that in Jharkhand, you have one political party which has a clear single majority, and that party's people are not being allowed to make a government. That is being delayed. While in Bihar, you had one person who was the chief minister, resigns, then goes against and says, "Mujhe dobara chief minister banna hai." Ek aisa dal ka neta,
so do you
one political party leader who does not have any majority.
Okay, very quickly, do you fear that where Nitish Kumar walks out of the alliance, do you fear Jharkhand is going to be that one state where the INDA alliance will be losing its government? Do you fear that?
Absolutely not. See, if the BJP imposes a governor's rules, then a president's rules converts Jharkhand into a union territory, and the matter languishes in the Supreme Court for 10, 20, 30, 40 years, then I can't say. But if any constitutional process is followed, if there is any modicum of democracy left in this country, I am sure the India Alliance, the JMM and the Congress and other partners are going to keep the government intact. They can throw Hemant Soren in jail, they can throw Arvind Kejriwal in jail, they can throw Rahul
Now the BJP, I will get in Monojit and Guru quickly, but Nikhil, I have to ask you one thing. The BJP and Nishikant Dubey is alleging that multiple of these MLAs right now are incommunicado. They do not even support Champai Soren, and that is why you don't have the numbers. That is what Nishikant Dubey is alleging.
MLAs हमारे साथ बातचीत कर रहे हैं. अमित शाह अभी थोड़े दिन में अमित शाह का बयान आएगा, वो बोलेंगे हमारे साथ बातचीत कर रहे हैं. And somehow this is seen as Chanakya Niti in this country, that elected representatives of the people are taking 10, 50, 100.
Are your MLAs up for sale? Are your MLAs up for sale? Because this is a question that should go out to all political parties, no?
Yeah.
If it's a question of ideology or your MLAs are up for sale, that you need to, pack them and ensure that they move out to a Congress-ruled state.
First of all, nobody is saying that these MLAs are sellable. Some MLAs are sellable. Eknath Shinde's faction, we know how things moved. I can't make any factual claims on your show because nobody knows. वहाँ पर ED कभी नहीं जाएगा. Everybody in the news circles, in the political circles has heard of those figures, 25 crore per MLA, 50 crore per MLA. But the BJP is never going to answer ये 50 crore, 25 crore, 100 crore per MLA, हजारों करोड़ आ कहाँ से रहे? राहुल गांधी की एक टी-शर्ट पे people have prime time debates कि राहुल गांधी ने 40,000 रुपए की टी-शर्ट पहन ली. ये कोई नहीं पूछता कि 65 लाख रुपए के चार्टर जेट कैसे बुक होते हैं. ये कोई नहीं पूछता कि पूरा का पूरा 5-star कैसे बुक होता है. BJP is using illegal money to
have you given up? Okay. I do understand your compulsions right now because you're sitting here and I think you in your heart do not even know whether your government is going to survive in the state of Jharkhand or not.
You're seeing the parade on your show.
Okay. But the point is, see, this parade and these images hold no value, and Guru will also vouch for this. After the Bombay judgment, it's very clear that a floor test is the only way to ensure that whether a government is a majority or not. That point is valid. That point is valid.
Not letting the floor test happen.
Okay, you're saying the governor is, indulging in these delaying tactics. Before I let Guru respond to this, and I also want to check with our team if we can get the JMM spokesperson with us. But Monojit, is this already the defeatist attitude of the INDA alliance? The other day, Mallikarjun Kharge said, "Agar Modi ji dobara aayenge, to elections band ho jayenge." Now, Nikhil and a lot of other players right now in Jharkhand are running scared because what if they lose their government?
I am not at all scared.
You represent the Congress, so you're running scared.
I am not at all scared. I am clearly saying that if the government is not imposed, the
Monojit, what about the very serious charges of corruption? Corruption has, it seems, united all of you also.
So how did you make Hemant Sharma the Chief Minister, who was one of the most corrupt Chief Ministers in the country? How did you make government with Meghalaya's party, with whom you fought the election few months back only? The Prime Minister called him the most corrupt government. Ajit Pawar, 36,000 crore ka ghotala, National Corrupt Party of India. What are you talking
about? Right now, why don't you respond about Hemant Soren? Do you believe Hemant Soren is corrupt?
Yes.
Do you believe
when I talk about Hemant Soren,
should withdraw support?
When you talk about no, I know these are very uncomfortable questions for you and the BJP. When you talk about Hemant,
no, Monojit,
why do you
have
leave
to
out
please appreciate my position. I have limited time. I have limited time, and we are talking about Hemant Soren. We are talking of the constitutional crisis in Jharkhand. What is your advice to Nikhil and the RJD combined here, the JMM?
This is a chaos that has been made by the governor, deliberately so. But there is judgment from the Supreme Court. You mentioned Isar Mumbai judgment that the floor is the only way to show your strength. What are you talking about? This Champai Soren has been elected the leader of the legislative party. She is heading the largest political party in the state. She should be immediately given the charge and let her go for the floor test, which she doesn't need to either. I mean, did you ask Nitish Kumar to go for the floor test? You did not call the largest party there to form the government. Did you wait for even 24 hours to form the government?
He's been given a date for a floor test. Otherwise, just being very factually correct with that, he will ultimately also will have to prove those numbers. But Guru, you need to respond to these charges that have been raised by both Nikhil and Monojit, and also what PDT Achari said. He said, in what capacity today is the governor, even running the state of Jharkhand? Either you ensure that there is president's rule, that means the center intervenes, or the governor here decides whether Hemant Soren and his list of 43 MLAs that he's given to him, he has confidence in that or not, and he should tell them to prove their numbers on the floor of the house, Guru.
No, Deepthi, as far as the mandate of the governor is concerned, I would sincerely request both my friends to read on the constitution and the power of governors. The governor is constitutionally mandated to oversee the formation of a new government. The governor has to assess the situation. The governor has to be very comfortable. But I don't understand. I did not speak when you were speaking.
Monojit, wait. Let him respond, then you can counter him, please, one by one. Guru.
No, that is the sanskar of Trinamool Congress. He cannot help it. He wants to bring the Gundaism on the studio as well. That is not going to happen. So please listen to it, Monojit. When you were speaking, no one interfered. Please have the grace and the patience to listen to other people as well. Go read on the constitution, on the role of the governor. The governor has every right to assess. The governor has every right to examine the situation. When you don't have the majority, when you are not comfortable, when you don't have the confidence that you can parade the required numbers at the Raj Bhavan, then how can you say? How do you have the audacity to say that you can form the government? And for a Congress party, Deepthi, the country is very well aware of the fact
but are you also not twisting the facts? See, they have presented a list of 43. The only test then of that number is going to be on the floor of the House. Wait, please. Let's not get personal. Let Guru respond to that. Monojit, I will give you the last word.
Dheeraj Sahu.
Guru, you can finish your point.
No, so, yeah, I was just finishing a point that for a party that demigodifies Mr. Dheeraj Sahu, and Mr. Dheeraj Sahu is the same person, a Congress member of Parliament from Rajya Sabha, so they are lecturing us on corruption, they are lecturing us on hoarding of money, they are lecturing us on 65 lakh rupees ka jet, so they have to understand. Your party, sir, 3 बार कांग्रेस पार्टी ने जिनको चुनाव लड़वाया, जिनके घर जब ईडी का छापा पड़ता है तो वहां पे मशीनें खराब हो जाती हैं लेकिन नोट की गिनती होती रहती है। ये वही व्यक्ति है जो अपने इलेक्शन एफिडेविट में अपनी कुल संपत्ति 30 करोड़ बताता है लेकिन उसके परिसर में 300 करोड़ से अधिक का पैसा मिलता है। And now when the corruption is being investigated, you have a problem with it? I don't understand. This is beyond my comprehension. Constitutionally,
No, Guru,
legally,
no one has a problem with corruption. It needs to be investigated. Guru, the issue is about who really is calling the shots right now in Jharkhand. Jharkhand today does not have a chief minister, neither is it under the president's rule.
Does Hemant Soren has the comfortable majority? The question is that the governor is trying to assess that situation. Hemant Soren ji ke paas vidhayak hai to jaiye
that can only be proved, Guru, on the floor of the House. If the BJP believes that you have the numbers, you should go and approach the governor.
I think Guru thinks that will be proved in Nagpur.
Deepthi,
what is it talking
Wait,
about?
Monojit.
One can only
10 seconds, Guru, complete your point, please. 10 seconds, Guru.
No, it's my turn now. It's my turn now.
Jharkhand Mukti Morcha, Rashtriya Janata Dal and Congress.
No, Monojit, I will come back to you. You please interrupted him. I've asked him a question. Let him respond. Let him respond.
No, Deepthi, one final submission I have to make. Today, as of now, Jharkhand Mukti Morcha, Rashtriya Janata Dal and Indian National Congress, they collectively do not have the confidence that they can form government, they can form the majority in Jharkhand. That is clearly the case. And hence, so many people are saying that we don't have the numbers, we don't have the comfortable majority. That is precisely the reason. Why are you accusing the governor? The governor, Deepthi, is an institution of the constitution.
Guru continues to maintain that the JMM, Congress, NCP, CPIML and the RJD combined does not have the number. Monojit, you will get the last 10 seconds.
I can only pity this person and the party that he represents. 48 out of 61 seats belong to these political formation, And he's saying that they do not have the majority.
अरे भाई तू कहाँ
I mean, I pity this.
Where are your
governors are
You don't have the
gundas.
confidence.
These governors are
Where are your
gundas in the
MLAs?
name of the
आपके विधायक
constitution.
कहाँ हैं?
Arey, stop now lecturing.
Monajit, see, governor is a constitutional position, Monajit. Please, I will advise you restrain, please. Monajit, see, the problem is that all these political parties, you can't vitiate the atmosphere like this. The governor is a constitutional chair. You have a problem, please approach the courts. Monajit, please. These personal battles, this acrimony does not work. People watch it. You want to play the martyr card? Play that. Go down to the streets and say what the governor is doing with the Gadbandhan is wrong. Approach the courts. But Guru, you must also think whether, you are overdoing the entire situation is also a sentiment that a lot of people say. Okay, Monajit, I've completely run out of time. We will keep our focus on what's going on. Monajit maintains this is murder of democracy. But Guru says give the governor time, he will respond. Okay, we thank... All right, we thank all of you gentlemen. Monajit, thank you so much. It's time for us to head into a quick break. On the other side, back with lots more.
Amity has been ranked India's #1 not-for-profit private university for 11th year, with top 10 ranked institutions in management, engineering, biotech, law, masscom, telecom, hospitality, fashion and more. Yet another top ranking for Amity University.
This is Republic Niva Bupa Studio, your one stop for all the breaking news updates, and I am Nikita Sahai.
This is Republic Niva Bupa Studio, your one stop for all the breaking updates. I am Rakshita Mishra.
This is Republic Niva Bupa Studios, your one-stop destination for all the breaking news updates, and I am Shivangi Shukla. This is Republic Niva Bupa Studios, your one-stop destination for all the breaking news updates, and I am Shivangi Shukla.
This is Republic Niva Bupa Studio, your one stop for all the breaking news updates, and I am Nikita Sahai.
This is Republic Niva Bupa Studio.
Trending burning question. Powered by Reva University, Century Laminates, AMNS, Acco Insurance, and Hyundai Samat.
Well, hello and welcome viewers. I am Aishwarya Kapoor and you are watching the trending burning question. And while the finance minister was reading out the interim budget, the enforcement directorate in the state of Jharkhand was seeking remand of the former Chief Minister, now Hemant Soren. What is happening in Jharkhand? If you could just play the visuals also while I speak, while my guests connect. Because what is happening in Jharkhand is that while a manifest has been accessed by Republic, because the claims by the new nominee, by the former Chief Minister, claims that all 43 MLAs are there. But then in the manifest which has been accessed by Republic Media Network in a chartered flight which is moving from Ranchi to Hyderabad, has only 10 members, and out of those 10 civilians there are only four MLAs. So what is happening? What is happening? Because in this manifest only 4 MLAs are there. Okay, this is one charter plane. There might be different charter planes. But the claims which were being made that all 43 MLAs are at the airport, that were wrong. And it's very clear. I'm being told that Binay Singh, a political analyst, live from Ranchi, and also Mohan Karmakar, who's a spokesperson of the JMM, are joined in. Vineet Goenka of the BJP is joining in soon. But what is happening is this, viewers. Once again, I repeat, that claims by the new JMM chief ministerial face are that all 43 MLAs are there. But the manifest which has been accessed by Republic Media Network has only 10 names and only 4 MLAs are flying to Ranchi. So what is happening? Is there a divide in the family? After Hemant Soren has been arrested, Vineet Goenka and Binay Singh. Binay, I'm coming to you first and then to you, Vineet. It seems, Binay Singh, that all is not well, because what has been accessed by Republic shows very clearly that only 4 MLAs and 6 others are civilians. Binay Singh. Yeah, I think there's some light problem with Binay. I'll come back to you, Binay. I'm going to Vineet. Vineet first. Vineet Goenka. Allegations are on the BJP that you are trying to poach the JMM MLAs. How do you respond? Vineet. Vineet.
Aishwarya, am I audible?
Vineet, can you hear me?
Yeah. Aishwarya, Ram Ram to you. It is a unique situation where we see a chief minister trying to avoid the law and rather trying to harass the officers who are investigating this. It's a classical case, Chori or Sina Chori. My request to the former Chief Minister of Jharkhand through your channel would be they should submit and allow the law to take care.
No, that's okay, but Binay Singh, what's the reality? Champai is saying, I have all 43. The charter plane which is going only has 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 MLAs, Binay Singh. What is happening, Binay Singh?
Only I told that, JMM has become Titanic. It is a sinking ship and everybody wants to jump out of the ship. And they are looking for lifeboats and life jackets. The situation is, Aishwarya, that Hemant Soren party and the Congress party here, they are trying to mislead the governor. The video which shows that there are 43 MLAs is actually a video of 1 day ago. That's not a fresh video of today. So they don't have majority. They don't have majority. That's why they are not, proceeding further to claim to form the government. And today also, when they went to meet the governor, only 6 MLAs were there. So if they have the majority, they must ask for time and they must parade all the MLAs. There is no majority at all, Aishwarya, and the numbers are decreasing every hour. In the morning, I think there were 35 MLAs, those who were, in the network. Nearly other MLAs, they were not reachable. And slowly, several MLAs, they are also unwilling to, join this government. So this government is over, I think. This is a sinking ship and the game is over. And believe me, Aishwarya, what has happened that...
No, game is over, but the blame is on the BJP. No, game is over, Vineet, but the blame is being put on BJP. Binay, I'll come back to you because I am also getting another angle and that's another breaking news, but I am going to Vineet. Vineet, the allegation is being put once again by JMM that it's BJP which is trying to poach MLAs. Vineet, and you see, amid this, Aam Aadmi Party is jumping in defense of JMM and saying, Aam Aadmi Party is saying, this is exactly what BJP did in Delhi. Vineet.
There is an old saying, chor chor mosere bhai. The accused in the liquor gate of Delhi, who himself has to face the ED and the hands of the law, is trying to take side of another corrupt dynasty. And we have seen that. It's an open and shut case in Jharkhand where the Chief Minister is involved. There is a cash been recovered from his house. The vehicles are unaccounted for. A dynast who has amassed wealth beyond his legitimate earning is trying to take side from another bureaucrat, another former bureaucrat, another corrupt person from Delhi. So it's a very, very simple case. It's a very open shut case. Rather, I'm paid, Aishwarya ji, to let you know that Maha Manav, Bharat Ratna, Dr. Bhimrao Ambedkar, and the subsequent government introduced a law called an Atrocity Act to protect the downtrodden, the people who are suffering. But today, what we have seen from Mr. Hemant Soren is that he is taking an advantage of this and trying to threaten the honest ED officers who are investigating against him. Whereby, if this kind of things have been done, then the officers will be fearing. They will not be able to perform their duties. So my request to Supreme Court through your channel would be to take cognizance of this and take action on those people who misuse
one last question to Binay Singh. Binay Singh, what I am being told, that Guruji has jumped in. Binay Singh, okay Vineet, thank you Vineet. Binay Singh, what I am being told, that Guruji has jumped in and that Guruji is not happy with Champai Soren becoming the Chief Minister. Is that true?
Sorry, it is very obvious. These are
is Guruji still politically active?
And why they will be happy if somebody outside their family is going to be the CM? So it is the basic of the dynasty politics. Nobody will be happy for that. But Aishwarya, believe me, who are giving suggestions to Hemant Soren, today he will be surprised that 2 petitions were filed simultaneously in single day, one in the High Court and the other in the Supreme Court. And the High Court was surprised that if you file a petition in the Supreme Court, why you are filing a petition here? So I don't know what kind of advocates they have and what kind of salakar they have. And one more thing, Aishwarya, just to have a glance of what has happened in Jharkhand. One businessman from Kolkata named Amit Agarwal has been arrested before. Okay. You know who Amit Agarwal was? Amit Agarwal was the person responsible for fixing every post in Jharkhand.
And Vineet,
from top
thank
to
you
bottom.
Very much. Thank you very much. We'll see what's happening in Jharkhand. But right now I am joined in by Central Minister, Cabinet Minister Anurag Thakur. Anurag Thakur, thank you so much for talking with Republic. Sir, I hope aapko awaaz aa rahi hai. You can hear me, Anurag ji. You are live on Republic and Republic Bharat, both, sir. Namaskar, Anurag ji. Anurag ji, you've held several portfolios. The interim budget presented today जो आज इंटरिम बजट पेश किया वित्त मंत्री ने, उसके बाद जिस तरह का रिएक्शन देश से आया, द पीपल ऑफ दिस कंट्री रिएक्टेड लाइक अ वेव, एंड देन देयर वाज अनदर ऑपोजिशन रैंट। विपक्ष के जो सांसद संसद से बाहर निकले, वो कुछ अलग ही बात कर रहे थे। वो ये समझ ही नहीं पा रहे हैं कि जनता क्या चाह रही है। हाउ डू यू रिएक्ट टू दिस?
Let me first say that this may be the interim budget,
right?
But this is inclusive and innovative. This is a futuristic budget which has laid the foundation of the Viksit Bharat, and it has lived up to the aspirations of each and every Indian. ये बजट अंतरिम हो सकता है, लेकिन समावेशी भी है, अभिनव भी है। ये हमारे विकसित भारत की मजबूत नींव रखने वाला बजट है, युवाओं की आकांक्षाओं पर खरा उतर रहा है। और मैं कहूँगा, गरीब, युवा, अन्नदाता और नारी शक्ति, ये जो 4 स्तंभ की बात नरेंद्र मोदी जी ने की, इनके लिए बहुत कुछ इसमें दिखता है, जिससे माध्यम से देश को और आगे बढ़ने का अवसर भी मिलेगा, इनका भी कल्याण होगा। अब इसमें देखिए, गरीबों के लिए 4 करोड़ पक्के मकान हमने 10 साल में बनाए। अब अगले 5 साल के लिए 2 करोड़ की घोषणा कर दी, वो भी बना कर देंगे। हमने 1 करोड़ ऐसे मुकदमे चल रहे थे टैक्स पेयर्स के ऊपर, उसको बंद करने की बात कही है, जिससे हजारों करोड़ का उनको लाभ मिलेगा। तो दूसरी ओर 1 रुपए का भी टैक्स नहीं नया लगाया गया है। कांग्रेस के समय 2 लाख रुपए से ज्यादा आमदन हो तो टैक्स लगता था। मोदी सरकार में 7 लाख रुपए तक भी कोई टैक्स नहीं है। दूसरी ओर जो हमारा कैपिटल एक्सपेंडिचर है, वो 11,11,111 करोड़ रुपए का रखा है, जो पिछले साल से 11% ज़्यादा है। और इसके माध्यम से भी हज़ारों किलोमीटर सड़कें बनेगी, रेलवे लाइन बनेगी, अन्य आधारभूत ढांचा बनेगा। इसमें ऐश्वर्या जी 3 रेल कॉरिडोर भी बनेंगे, जिसमें चाहे मिनरल्स को ले जाने की बात हो, फर्टिलाइजर्स को ले जाने की बात हो, या फिर आपके जो एक्सपोर्ट के लिए जो लिंकेज चाहिए वो भी होगी, और पैसेंजर्स के लिए भी इस कॉरिडोर का लाभ मिलेगा। 40,000 बोगीज को वंदे भारत की तर्ज पर आधुनिक और आरामदायक बनाया जाएगा। और हमारे यहाँ पर अब एक और फायदा होने वाला है कि युवाओं को 1 लाख करोड़ रुपए का रिसर्च एंड इनोवेशन फंड मिलेगा। वो इनोवेशन कर सकेंगे, कॉरपोरेट से लेके एंटरप्रेन्योर, सब स्टार्टअप्स, इनको इससे लाभ मिलेगा। और भारत को भविष्य के लिए इसकी बहुत आवश्यकता थी। जैसे आज से 8-9 साल पहले मोदी जी ने स्टार्टअप को बल दिया, तो आज भारत दुनिया का 3रा सबसे बड़ा स्टार्टअप इकोसिस्टम बना। मोदी ने स्किल को महत्व दिया, तो 1.5 करोड़ युवाओं को स्किल डेवलपमेंट के माध्यम से जोड़ा गया। अब एक के बाद अनेक ऐसी योजना, जैसे दीदी को लखपति दीदी बनाना, सेल्फ हेल्प ग्रुप की 3 करोड़ बहनों को लखपति दीदी बनाएंगे। 1 करोड़ बन गए, 2 करोड़ को और बनाएंगे। ये सारे मध्यम वर्ग के लोगों के लिए अपना मकान हो, कोई चाल में रहता था, रेंटेड अकोमोडेशन, किराए के मकान में रहता है, उसके पास अपने मकान का सपना पूरा हो, इसकी योजना को भी मोदी सरकार लेकर आ रही है।
लेकिन अनुराग जी, प्रधानमंत्री ने, द प्राइम मिनिस्टर मेड इट वेरी क्लियर, ही गिव अ क्लियर हिंट दैट दिस मे बी एन इंटरिम बजट। ये हो सकता है कि इंटरिम बजट हो, लेकिन मेरी ही सरकार पूरा बजट लेके आएगी। और उसके बाद विपक्ष ये कहता है कि कुछ बदला ही नहीं है, विपक्ष कहता है कि कुछ है ही नहीं, पुराने साल के पहले 4 पन्ने रिपीट कर दिए हैं। So how do you react to this? आप इस पे कैसे बोलेंगे? क्या इस बजट में कुछ भी नया नहीं है? Is this just a copy paste? विपक्ष कह रहा है।
One stable.
Okay, okay. अनुराग जी, can you hear me now? अनुराग जी, क्या आपको आवाज आ रही है? अनुराग जी, क्या आपको आवाज आ रही है? I think there is some technical error there, viewers. We are just trying to get the minister back. अनुराग जी, आवाज आ रही है आपको? अनुराग जी, can you hear me?
अब आपकी बात
जी बिल्कुल। अनुराग जी, मैं ये कह रहा हूं, विपक्ष का ये वार है, विपक्ष का ये काउंटर है। विपक्ष कह रहा है कि इंटरिम बजट अगर ना भी देते तो भी होता, कि मिनिस्टर ने कुछ नया तो किया नहीं। वो ये कह रहे हैं कि जनता के लिए कुछ नहीं है। वो कह रहे हैं कि लखपति दीदी पे विपक्ष के सांसदों से पूछा गया, हमारे रिपोर्टर्स ने भी पूछा, तो बोले उसमें नया क्या है, ये तो सब पुराना है, ये तो सब हमने ही 15-20 साल पहले शुरू किया था। वही जो उनका ओल्ड रैंट होता है कि नाम बदल दिया है बस, हमारे टाइम पे भी ये स्कीम थी। उनका ये काउंटर होता है, उनसे कुछ भी पूछो तो।
देखिए, जो पार्टी 60 साल सत्ता में रही, और महिलाओं को शौचालय नहीं दे पाई, रसोई गैस का सिलेंडर नहीं दे पाई, बैंक का खाता नहीं दे पाई, पक्के मकान नहीं दे पाई, 5 लाख का इलाज मुफ्त में नहीं दे पाई, आज वो ये कहें कि सब उनका ही था, तो देश उनके ऊपर हंस रहा है। इसलिए उनके सहयोगी दल उनको छोड़ के जा रहे हैं। जो अपने सहयोगियों के साथ न्याय नहीं कर पाए, अब उनके सहयोगी छोड़ के जा रहे हैं। मैं ऐश्वर्या जी इस पर इतना कहूँगा, 25 करोड़ गरीबों को गरीबी रेखा से बाहर निकालने का कार्य मोदी सरकार ने किया है और 12 करोड़ शौचालय बनाए, 13 करोड़ घरों को नल से जल दिया, फिर 10 करोड़ बहनों को उज्ज्वला गैस सिलेंडर दिए। अब मैं आपको तुलना करके बताता हूं, व्हाइट पेपर में तो इनका पर्दाफाश होगा ही कांग्रेस का, मैं यहीं पे तुलना करके बताता हूं। हमने 45 करोड़ बैंक खाते खोले, अगर इंदिरा जी और सोनिया जी ने खोले होते तो शायद जरूरत ही ना हमें पड़ती। महिलाओं को शौच करने के लिए 4-4 किलोमीटर नहीं चलना पड़ता, मोदी सरकार ने 12 करोड़ शौचालय बनाए। फिर रसोई गैस का सिलेंडर कुल मिला के 14 करोड़ थे 2014 तक, हमने 27 करोड़ नए सिलेंडर दिए हैं, जिसमें से 10 करोड़ तो उज्ज्वला योजना में ही दिए हैं जो मुफ्त में है। इसी तरह से इलाज भी मुफ्त में, अनाज भी मुफ्त में। इनको कहने दीजिए कांग्रेस को, इसका कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता है। देश जानता है कि गरीब का कल्याण किसने किया, तो मोदी जी ने, तभी जाकर पिछले 10 सालों में 25 करोड़ गरीबी रेखा से बाहर आए। और मैं विश्वास दिलाता हूं, हम अगले 5 सालों में इस देश की अर्थव्यवस्था को ईमानदारी की राह पे चल के, जैसे अब तक 10वें नंबर से 5वें नंबर की अर्थव्यवस्था बना दिया, अब मोदी जी तीसरी बार चुनकर आएंगे तो हम तीसरी सबसे बड़ी अर्थव्यवस्था दुनिया की बनाएंगे।
वन लास्ट क्वेश्चन मिस्टर मिनिस्टर, लक्षद्वीप को लेके जो बजट में स्पेशल मेंशन आया, उसको लेके बहुत बात हो रही, बहुत ज्यादा बात हो रही है कि भैया देयर इज अ स्पेशल मेंशन फॉर डेवलपमेंट ऑफ लक्षद्वीप। जी
देखिए, मोदी जी कहीं पे भी जाएं, उनका प्रयास रहता है कि भारत को लोग जानें, देखें। भारत में हर तरह की क्षमता है, पहाड़ों से लेके, नदियों से लेके, समुद्र तट से लेके रेगिस्तान तक, जो दुनिया के किसी देश में इतनी संभावनाएं ना, वो भारत में है। और भारत का हजारों वर्ष पुराना इतिहास है, रिलीजियस टूरिज्म से लेके प्राकृतिक सौंदर्य, सबको हम बल देने का प्रयास कर रहे हैं। अभी मोदी जी चाहे एक दिन के लिए ही लक्षद्वीप गए थे, लेकिन वो कई दिनों तक ट्रेंड करता रहा, पहले से 10वें स्थान तक। ये ताकत है नरेंद्र मोदी जी की लोकप्रियता की, और ताकत है भारत की खूबसूरती की। कोविड के समय से मोदी जी ने भारत को प्रमोट और करना शुरू किया और कहा कि अपने देश को जाने, देश को घूमे, 15 ऐसे स्थानों पे घूमे। अब हमने उनका नेटवर्क भी और स्ट्रॉन्ग किया है। साथ ही साथ जो हमारा रिलीजियस टूरिज्म है, इसको लेके भी सोमनाथ धाम हो, केदारनाथ धाम हो, काशी विश्वनाथ धाम हो, महाकाल लोक हो, बौद्ध सर्किट हो, करतारपुर कॉरिडोर हो, और अब अयोध्या धाम में भव्य राम मंदिर हो, ये सारों को बल मोदी सरकार ने दिया। विकास भी, विरासत भी, तो विकास भी कराया, अपनी विरासत को बचाया भी, आगे बढ़ाया भी। आज नंबर्स देखिए, आज सोमनाथ में लगभग 4 करोड़ लोग आते हैं जी, काशी विश्वनाथ में 8.5 करोड़ लोग आते हैं, महाकाल लोक में लगभग 5 करोड़ लोग आते हैं, तो अब अयोध्या धाम में लगभग 50 करोड़ लोग सालाना आने की, बहुत बड़ा नंबर, ये आंकड़े आ रहे हैं कि इतने हो सकते हैं। तो आप कल्पना कीजिए, ये अपने आप में कितना बड़ा रोजगार का, स्वरोजगार का अवसर मिलेगा। एक और हमारी विरासत बचेगी, दूसरी तरफ विकास के माध्यम से रोजगार, स्वरोजगार के अवसर बढ़ेंगे।
बिल्कुल, थैंक यू सो मच फॉर योर टाइम। आपके समय के लिए बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद मिनिस्टर, एंड उम्मीद करता हूं बहुत जल्द एक बहुत डिटेल इंटरव्यू करेंगे। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद, थैंक यू वेरी मच। सो दैट वाज Cabinet Minister Anurag Thakur speaking with Republic Media Network, and that's the time we have, viewers. Thank you very much. बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। Thank you.
This is Republic Niva Bupa Studios, your one-stop destination for all the breaking news updates, and I am Shivangi Shukla.
This is Republic Niva Bupa Studio, your one-stop for all the breaking news updates, and I am Nikita Sahai.
This is Republic Niva Bupa Studio, your one-stop for all the breaking updates. I am Rakshita Mishra.
This is Republic Niva Bupa Studio, your one-stop for all the breaking news updates, and I am Nikita Sahai.
This is Republic Niva Bupa Studio, your one-stop for all the breaking updates. I am Rakshita Mishra.
This is Republic Niva Bupa Studios, your one-stop destination for all the breaking news updates, and I am Shivangi Shukla.
QSMTHE, the world's foremost university rankings organizations, have ranked Amity amongst the top 3% universities globally, making it among the very few Indian universities to be included in both rankings. Yet another top ranking for Amity University.
This is Republic Niva Bupa Studios, your one-stop destination for all the breaking news updates, and I am Shivangi Shukla.
This is Republic Niva Bupa Studio, your one-stop for all the breaking news updates, and I am Nikita Sahai.
This is Republic Niva Bhupa Studio, your one stop for all the breaking updates. I am Rakshita Mishra.
Amity has been ranked India's #1 not-for-profit private university for 11th year, with top 10 ranked institutions in management, engineering, biotech, law, masscom, telecom, hospitality, fashion.
This is Republic Niva Bhupa Studio, your one stop for all the breaking updates. I am Rakshita Mishra.
This is Republic Niva Bhupa Studio, your one stop for all the breaking news updates, and I am Nikita Sahai.
This is Republic Niva Bhupa Studio, your one stop for all the breaking updates. I am Rakshita Mishra.
This is Republic Niva Bhupa Studios, your one-stop destination for all the breaking news updates, and I am Shivangi Shukla.
QSMTHE, the world's foremost university rankings organizations, have ranked Amity amongst the top 3% universities globally, making it among the very few Indian universities to be included in both rankings. Yet another top ranking for Amity University.
This is Republic Niva Bhupa Studios, your one-stop destination for all the breaking news updates, and I am Shivangi Shukla.
Exclusive interviews with top union ministers. Budget of growth, governance and continuity. Can opponent allege disparity in budget?
lovely studios of Republic TV. It's time for Arnab Goswami on the debate.
Arnab Goswami on the debate at 9. Presented by Amity University. Powered by RP Sanjeev Goenka Group. Century Ply. Club Prime. PolicyBazaar.com.
Good evening and welcome, viewers. It comes as an air of freshness on the evening of a budget 2 months before a general election to not have election-related sops doled out to the electorate. For it had become accepted tradition by the Chidambaram era to throw carrots to the electorate, one constituency after the other as part of traditional budgetary announcements. Suddenly they'd wake up to women being a constituency. Suddenly they would wake up the night before and say, let's woo the army personnel, like they did on the eve of the 2014 budget, suddenly waking up and saying, okay, let's throw a sop by way of a VC fund to provide concessional finance to scheduled castes and fling them some initial capital to make them happy. This is wrong thinking, ladies and gentlemen. If you want to develop the nation, you cannot do so by throwing carrots at people. This thinking, ladies and gentlemen, this detestful mindset that treated the people of this country, the electorate, as some sort of pre-poll cattle for decades has come to an end with today's budget. It may be an interim budget, but there is a message here. The message that this business of pre-election populism today, I can say with finality, does not belong in the Modi era. Like they did in 2019, and I may even go as far as to say that the 2024 aggression of the Modi government in terms of their surety with themselves of a third term is higher than it was in 2019. This government is more sure, even more sure of being re-elected than they were in 2019. And nothing exudes it more than the union interim budget that we saw Mrs. Nirmala Sitharaman deliver today. One, it ditched the populism for the purpose of long-term policy. Two, it went for continuity instead of some knee-jerk reaction to an upcoming election. Three, it solidly rallied behind what it believed in, going down and empowering the poor, the women, widening the ambits of the schemes instead of flicking some freebies to the downtrodden. Four, aggression in fiscal. They've not just been prudent, showing how secure the economy is and giving the longer roadmap for stability. Five, the generosity in capex, an 11% plus increase in a huge capital allocation already for infrastructure, ladies and gentlemen, is no joke. It's commitment that we'll build the country. Commitment we'll build the roads of the country and the bridges of the country and create the logistics of the country so no one ever says that China's infrastructure is better than ours. Ladies and gentlemen, this is no joke. It convinces, no matter how cynical you are, that this government of our great nation believes in growth. The belief in investment for the future. Ladies and gentlemen, a 1 lakh crore investment into the sunrise domain tells you that this government, our government, believes into investment, into innovation and the future of technology. 7, the focus of women, not just by way of enhancing schemes, but also by bringing key healthcare announcements into the ambit for women. They are going to the root to solve the problem. And finally, number 8, ladies and gentlemen, this is a budget for all. The Modi government, with continuity and clarity, has delivered a budget which is not pro anyone, which is rather for everybody. No special dole-outs, no special carrots, no one above the other. And like the finance minister said today, this is true secularism. It may prick many in the indie today, but largely the Ivy League so-called economists come politicians, ladies and gentlemen, must accept today that they have been shoved into silence. They don't know how to react. They realize that this government has got the fundamentals absolutely right. And when you get the fundamental right, the incidentals follow. Ladies and gentlemen, that's my view. Debate number 1 tonight. Maybe an interim budget, but a budget which has a big message. A big message. And debate number 2 this evening, we have dramatic political events in Jharkhand. But more than what happens and who takes over, we must talk about what Hemant Soren has done. And debate number 3 tonight, we have the brother of DK Shivakumar in Karnataka talking about a separate nation for the South. I mean, what is Rahul Gandhi doing? Does Sonia Gandhi endorse this as well? That's secessionist comment by the Indie leader. And here are the headlines this Thursday evening on the debate tonight.
गरीब महिलाएं, युवा and अन्नदाता, their needs, their aspirations and their welfare are our highest priority.
A budget for a new India. Nirmala Sitharaman presents her 6th budget. A budget which is aimed not at tempering expectations or raising expectations, but which promises continuity and growth.
गरीबों की रोजाना खर्चा करने की ताकत बढ़ाने की बजट है ये क्या? तो ये बजट से आम चुनाव जो होने वाला है इस साल, ये आम चुनाव में आम लोगों को लुभाने की बजट है और कुछ नहीं है.
No clear response from the opposition expresses worry as the budget prepares to supercharge and turbocharge the economy. Hemant Soren in judicial custody for a day as details of the charges against him, the scam that he has carried out, come out into the open and begin filtering through. Resorting to resort politics, the new Chief Minister of Jharkhand in place for Hemant Soren, who's quit, tries to fly down his supporters to a resort in a state where the Congress is in power. Republic scoops exclusive details of the mega land scam. The link to Soren is exposed. And anger mounts against a Congress member of parliament over a secessionist comment. Congress tries to desperately distance now. First, let's quickly recap the main points in the interim budget presented by Nirmala Sitharaman. There's so much in the budget, but more so I believe that the main headline here is what isn't there. There are no SOPs, there is no desperately putting out carrots, there is not seeking votes in the name of the presentation of a budget. It seems there is a quiet confidence in the Modi government that you don't need to use the budgetary process to try and win an election. Let's debate.
Historic, inclusive, visionary. The interim budget is all about growth, governance and giving direction.
आज का ये बजट इंटरिम बजट तो है ही, लेकिन ये बजट इंक्लूसिव और इनोवेटिव बजट है.
The interim budget lays Modi government's roadmap to Vikasit Bharat.
A pragmatic budget and not a populist one, the budget clearly underlined the government's intent on long-term and sustained economic growth. With FY 2025 capital expenditure increased by 11.1% to 11.11 lakh crore and fiscal deficit for the current financial year revised to 5.8%, the vitals of the budget has provided for growth.
With Lok Sabha polls just weeks away, Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman called for a resounding mandate.
When our government, under the visionary and dynamic leadership of Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi, assumed office in 2014, the country was facing enormous challenges. With Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas as its mantra, the government overcame those challenges in right earnest. The country got a new sense of purpose and hope. Naturally, the people blessed the government with a bigger mandate.
Industry experts feel the budget encapsulates new definition of GDP.
ऐसे कदम उठाए जा रहे हैं जिससे हमारी इकोनॉमी निरंतर बढ़ती रहे, 2047 में एक विकसित देश बन सके और जो जिस प्रॉमिस से ये सरकार का इलेक्शन हुआ था, सबका साथ, सबका विकास, सबका विश्वास, उसी की ओर ये सरकार बढ़ रही है.
Looking at fiscal deficit, which is in the current year going to be at 5.8 instead of 5.9, which is better than the original budget. And for next year, in the coming year, it is being pegged at 5.1 instead of 5.4. So to my mind, that's again a very bold measure and a very responsible measure, because that will help to tame inflation.
The Atmanirbhar technology that has been developed in Vande Bharat and many metros, that is going to basically reduce the cost of logistics even further, not only of freight but also passenger traffic, and that's where basically government is now very keen to use indigenously developed technologies.
Opposition claims the government is hoodwinking people just ahead of the mega polls.
हमें देखना है कि कौन सा बजट है, बेरोजगारी से रोजगार मिलने का बजट ही है क्या, ये गरीबों की रोजाना खर्चा करने की ताकत बढ़ाने की बजट है ये क्या. हमारे देश आज विश्व में 111 नंबर सूचकांक पर आ गए.
जो आंकड़े वित्त मंत्री ने प्रस्तुत किए हैं वो बढ़ेंगे. इसका ये मतलब है कि सरकार कर्जा लेकर अपना खर्चा चला रही है.
2014 में जो लंबे चौड़े वादे किए थे अपने कैंपेन में, वो आज तक नहीं हुआ. ज्ञान का एक नया डेफिनेशन मिला, पर ज्ञान में गरीबों के लिए क्या इस बजट में आया, युवाओं के लिए क्या आया, नारी शक्ति के लिए क्या आया, कुछ भी नहीं आया है. सिर्फ उनको ठेंगा दिखा दिया गया. मैं कहती हूँ ठंडे मौसम में ठंडा पानी आम जनता की उम्मीदों पे डालने का काम इस बजट ने किया है.
Is the opposition uncomfortable after its assumption overproved wrong? Let's debate.
On this budget night, Piyush Goyal, Union Minister for Commerce and Industry, Consumer Affairs and Food and Public Distribution and Textiles, Government of India, who's also the leader of the House in the Rajya Sabha. Mr. Piyush Goyal, it's great to have you on another budget night. You've been with me on so many budget nights. This is becoming a ritual. Thank you so much for joining us. Now, your two-worded tweet today whipped up a storm. I noticed it. You put out an interesting clip with it, and all it said was, in July 2024, ... Right, and the clip, in that clip, Ms. Sitharaman said that in July 2024, we will put out a detailed roadmap for Viksit Bharat. So, can you put that tweet in context?
Well, I think it's very important to understand that Prime Minister Narendra Modi has relentlessly over the last 10 years worked for the welfare of the people of India. He's consistently ensured that the Indian economy is on the right track of growth, and it's on the strength of 10 years of hard work, sincerely working towards a better future for the people of India, that we have come to a situation where from a fragile 5 economy we are today the world's 5th largest economy and growing at the fastest pace. If you see this 10-year period, the Prime Minister's focus has been very inclusive growth. How do we get the poor how do we get the marginalized sections of society a better deal? After all, we had governments which came and went for so many years. Nobody thought about the women of the home who had to take in smoke year in and year out. 10 crore people got a free Ujjwala gas connection. Nobody realized the indignity of our sisters and mothers and daughters that they didn't have a toilet. 11 crore families got a free toilet. 4 crore homes, proper pakka homes, were made for the poor of this country. And 20 crore people effectively are leading a better quality of life today. 60 crore people getting free health care. And the list just goes on and on. Broadly showing that the basic needs of every individual, roti, kapda, makan, swasth, shiksha, bijli, sadak, pani, connectivity and getting the basics in place has been Prime Minister's singular objective over the last 10 years. Along with that, he has strengthened the macroeconomy to a stage where we are today the 5th largest. We have strong fundamentals, control on inflation, control on interest rates, doubled our foreign exchange reserves, have high growth in exports. We have significant job generation and low unemployment rates in every aspect. The country is now in a position to dream big, to aspire for the bigger goals that this nation needs. And I believe this interim budget and the one Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi will finalize in July 24 are laying the roadmap for the Amrit Kal, 25 years, the next 24 years now, which will define India's road to prosperity, road to a better deal for 140 crore Indians.
Mr. Piyush Goyal, the feeling is a lot of things are coming together now after 9 to 10 years of hard work in terms of making fundamentals right, in terms of building in a digital economy, in terms of demonetization, in terms of GST, in terms of UPI. So the government's got the fundamentals right, and therefore this is that moment of inflection. However, is there any reason for worry as well? Because you see, there is a lot of aggression on the fiscal deficit. The government says we are going to achieve 4% by 24, 25, 26. Some traditional economists say impossible. They say impossible. How can the government? Can you hear me, Mr. Goyal? Can you hear me? Can you hear me, Mr. Goyal?
Yeah, I had some disturbance. Now it's better. Yeah.
Yeah. So okay. So I'll try and explain. Some people say, Mr. Goyal, that the government is putting too tough a target on itself with 4% fiscal deficit while having such generous outlay on capex and such big welfare schemes. What if something goes wrong? What if something goes wrong at a global level? Will India's apple cart be overturned? That's if something like that were to happen. So have you weighed that in?
Arnab, when you started Republic, I'm sure you kept very stiff targets also. A prudent, smart, intelligent person always challenges himself, always challenges the system. And it's only those who dream big, who aspire big, who achieve big. And I think Prime Minister Modi has not failed the nation. In every one of his tasks, he has proven through sheer performance, through grit of, the resilience that he has shown. We've had enough global challenges. We had COVID-19. We are currently faced with 2 wars. We have the Red Sea crisis. The world has gone through turmoil where interest rates in the developed world have skyrocketed. Inflation has been at never before levels. Despite all that, it's the small steps that Prime Minister Modi always focuses on. His practical approach to find solutions. The fact that he's very clear, like Arjun, his eye is very clear that the last man at the bottom of the pyramid should get a better quality of life. There should be a better future for him. I think that is what has held him in good stead. And today, we have such strong macroeconomic fundamentals that we can aspire big. There will be problems, challenges will come, But Prime Minister Modi has converted every single challenge of his life, every crisis that he has faced, into an opportunity to do even better. Whether it was COVID, where I don't know if you saw Vaccine Wars, I would urge you and your viewers to certainly see Vaccine Wars. It gives you the confidence as a nation how India can aspire and dream big and achieve big. And I say to the naysayers, not only will we achieve our fiscal deficit targets, not only will we relentlessly pursue the path of welfare for the poor, not only will we make sure that every young boy or girl, every man or woman born in India, every woman of substance that we have, our sisters and daughters, every annadata, the farmers, and every poor person can look for big dreams, can aspire big. Modi hai to mumkin hai, and this is India's time. This is our time where we are going to look for big transformational change and take this country to greater heights.
Okay. To wrap up on a lighter note, do you have to rub it in every time to the opposition? You know, it started with if we are back, then it went to when we are back, and now it has become after we are back. You know, I see every single opportunity, both by the Prime Minister and by you and all other leaders, to make that point relentlessly. Why are you doing that?
Arnab, it's only the trust that we have. ये जनता सब जानती है, जनता बड़ी समझदार है. The people of India are wise. They know what is good for them. They know what the competition has to offer. They want a corruption-free India. They don't like appeasement. They don't like family dynastic rule, dynastic politics. They don't like vindictive politics. But they like when action is taken against those who have stolen from the government treasury. When action is taken against those who have cheated the people of their hard-earned money and the taxes that they pay. And I think Prime Minister Modi is committed to making India truly a global superpower, free of corruption, free of appeasement, and really ensuring that every single person born in India gets a fair opportunity without discrimination. As Mrs. Sitaraman said, that is true secularism.
Right. Well, incredible. Mr. Piyush Goyal, I thank you very much. Wish you best of luck in the elections. And you do know how to make a tweet viral. Workaholic minister in the Modi government, Piyush Goyal, thank you very, very much. Great to have you with us on this budget night once again. Thank you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Piyush Goyal setting the agenda out there. I'm joined by Zafar Islam of the BJP, national spokesperson, Ravinder Dal of the Congress, and Akshay Marathe. Akshay Marathe, to start with you first. If there is nothing to criticize, you don't have to try and find water in a rock. You're overdoing it, Akshay. You could have been positive today. We're doing very well. We've got a huge capex. You know, this capex is going to go to all parts of the country. State governments have been incentivized to do more. Social welfare continues. Fiscal deficit is amazing. Actually, I think you have nothing to criticize. Actually, I think you don't. Do you? If you have anything specific which you have a problem with, then you tell Zafar now, and Zafar will take you on to start with.
Arnab, I first want to start off by saying that I completely understand why we have to speak in loud voices on this channel, because I've been hearing your producers talk for the last 30 minutes, and if you conduct this show every day with so many voices whispering in your head, I salute you for your dedication in focusing on what needs to be said. But be that as it may, let me focus on the issue at hand today. Look,
come to the point.
The last 10 years, the Modi government has promised India that they will produce 2 crore jobs every single year. And every budget, every youth of this country is looking at the finance minister expecting that there will be some kind of roadmap that talks about how will these jobs be created. Instead, you have tall promises each year after year after year, instead of communicating what has been done in the previous year to create create jobs? What has been done in the previous year to reduce inflation? Instead of focusing on these critical issues, the Modi government is only focused on patting its own back. You saw the minister that spoke right before us, Mr. Piyush Goyal. He had nothing to say about job creation. He had nothing to say about inflation and how the Modi government is going to reduce inflation. This is an election year, but this government is so arrogant that they don't have it in them to even consider that they are accountable to the people of India. The people are crying out loud that we cannot tolerate these high prices. For the last 10 years, Arnab, we have experienced the worst phase of jobless growth that any country may have experienced in the history of the world. We have had such high growth, 5, 6%, 7%, but no single job survey has been conducted in the last 5 years that indicates how much of that growth has gone into the pockets of the people. Or has this growth been entirely concentrated at the top 1-2% of India, the corporate class, the owners of these media organizations, the owners of big sporting companies that are making all the bucks? So the fact of the matter is the people can experience sheer economic pain, and the government does nothing to talk about that and expects that the opposition will have nothing to say against it. Are we supposed to be cheerleaders of the government? The opposition will critique.
You're not substantiating. You're not substantiating. You're not. You're not substantiating anything with numbers. You are just making a series of statements. You are not substantiating anything with numbers. You're not. You're just saying this is bad, that is bad, this is bad, that is worse. You don't have a single number. You don't. You can't substantiate it with a number. Take on Zafar Islam with a number.
Can I just respond? In the central government, what has the BJP said today about filling up those vacancies? 10 lakh jobs can be created in the stroke of a pen.
It's okay, you have spoken.
Okay.
Can I just respond, please? I think, Arnab, let me respond to him.
Go on.
First of all, he must understand. He must understand that this rhetoric will not be receptive to the common man on the street, because they know there's a government who believes in a governance model which actually is helping this governance model, which believes in two basic points: fairness and effectiveness, and that policy has helped a common man on the street. So they are extremely happy as far as the marginalized section of the society is concerned. But when we talk about the economy, we inherited a fragile economy. Today is the top 5 economy in the world. It's a robust economy, it's a growing economy. And this budget, if anybody was expecting that we should have made so many announcements, perhaps had we made the announcement in this budget, these people would have been criticizing us. So this interim budget was only a vote on accounts, and that is what we have achieved, except one more thing, that we have given direction. Our priority is very clear. We have made our economy very strong. It is growing very fast. The world is acknowledging that Indian economy is growing under the leadership of the Honorable Prime Minister. It's very strong, it's growing very fast. Secondly, what is more important, that the job creation, when the people are talk about job creation, see the number, NSO number, that this year the unemployment rate is 3.2, which is much better than what we had pre-pandemic level or during UPA level. So this only suggests that the policy initiative, structural reform, policy reform, whatever have been undertaken by the Honorable Prime Minister in last 10 years, actually paying the dividends. Today, who will criticize the Indian economy? Only fools will criticize, because all the macroeconomic parameters, if you see, as the Honorable Minister, Mr. Piyush Goyal was talking about, that it was looking terrible in 2013-14 because it was a fragile economy. Now you see the inflation, he was talking about the inflation. Inflation is well in control and it is coming off. The target for next year, RBI has indicated, is 4.5%. What else you want? 4.5% inflation, which as against the double-digit inflation we have seen during UPA regime. Secondly, the fiscal deficit. What is it with the health of the economy? The fiscal deficit, we had targeted 5.9. Actually, the revised budget estimates is 5.8. and this year the target is 5.1. This only suggests the fiscal prudence, whatever has been about what is being expected from the government, is being followed strictly by the government. Third thing, the ease of living, which is a priority for the government, and that's why all the initiative which has been taken by through policy reform by the government to ensure that the common man, the marginalized section of the society, the youth, the women, the annadata, the farmers, and of course these people's interests are safeguarded. They should be the biggest beneficiary. Today, a common man always feels comfortable because there is a leader who understands their concern, and his every policy decision which is being taken by the Prime Minister addresses their concern. When the next budget will come, this was only interim budget. The 2024 budget, which will be presented in July, will capture all the aspiration of youth, our farmers, our Nari Shakti, because the indication in this budget is loud and clear that these are the four pillars will be prioritized, will be focused by through policy decision, and their welfare is the priority for our government.
We'll take a response from the opposition in a minute to the points made by Zafar Islam. But in the meantime, let me quickly go across to Ashwini Vaishnav, also joining us briefly, Union Minister for Railways, Communications, Electronic, Information Technology, Government of Bharat. Now, Mr. Vaishnav, what is the need to present a white paper? You know, one part which I found interesting in the Finance Minister's presentation today was she mentioned somewhere towards the end that we're going to put out a white paper where we were and where we are. Is that a defensive move? Is that because of opposition criticism that this is jobless growth, not enough jobs are being created, inflation is high? Is that a defensive move, Mr. Vaishnav, by the government?
Absolutely not. See, in last 10 years, India has emerged from being one of the fragile five to one of the top 5 economies. Every analyst, every economist in the world is very categorically saying that India is going to grow at 6 to 8% growth rate with inflation under control over the next 5 to 7 years. So that is the kind of trust the world has on us. Employment, if you look at simply the formal employment, the net formal employment opportunities created are of the order of 1.5 million every month. That is the level of formal employment opportunities which are getting created. The white paper is very necessary because the way economy was mismanaged in the UPA government's 10 years, that can be a very important case study for future governments so that those mistakes do not happen today or in future. So it's very important to document what we have done well, what we have not done well, what are the lessons from the past, what are the lessons from the present, so that the future is better documented, future has better data sets to take decisions upon.
That's very interesting. Is it also perhaps because Prime Minister Modi sees the first 10 years of his prime ministership achieving certain basic fundamentals, you know, going through one cycle of structural changes and reforms, and possibly, you know, when the big budget is presented in July, that will set the agenda. It will change a little bit. Maybe there'll be a change of approach. So we are all very keen to know, broadly speaking, what will that change of approach be? You know, we've got a sense of solidity in the economy now, where there is a feeling that we can take a few risks. For example, I found it very interesting, Mr. Vaishnav, that it was just one casual line where it was said 40,000 coaches will be made of the quality of Vande Bharat. There was a statement like that. You know, it was just one line mentioned, but it was such a major thing. Right. My point to you is, I want an elaboration on that. How much will that cost? Do we have the money for it? How long will it take? Point number one. Point number two, what can we expect in July to go to the next level?
Listen. Prime Minister's economic management has been a very consistent policy-oriented approach. His approach is inclusive growth, make sure that the productivity of the country is well set, make sure that manufacturing is proper, make sure that physical, digital and social infrastructure is done. He has kept a very clear focus on simplification, very clear focus on setting all the parameters right, correct? I see this as a very consistent approach which gives a lot of confidence to the investors domestically as well as globally. So I see that this approach, the basic thinking process through which Prime Minister has managed economy is going to continue. One. Two, as far as the upgradation of coaches is concerned, this is a very important announcement today. If you look at the way railway has been transformed over last 10 years by a Prime Minister, this is a fundamental transformation. This is a major transformation. 10 years back, if you had to go to a station, you would have to pinch your nose. That was the condition. Today, stations are cleaner, trains are better, new technology has come up, 26,000 kilometers of new tracks has been added in 10 years. Last year, we added one Switzerland to our railway network by adding 5,200 kilometers. This year, we are adding 5,500 kilometers of new tracks, adding one more Switzerland. Today's budget has announced 3 corridors which will add one Germany to the Indian railway network, 40,000 kilometers. So it's a complete transformation. New trains, Vande Bharat and Amrit Bharat and Namo Bharat have been added to the network. So the Vande Bharat and Amrit Bharat experience will be used for upgrading the existing coaches which have a residual life. We will be manufacturing new, but the ones which are already in service and have a very significant life going ahead, those will be upgraded by using multiple new technologies. For example, having better couplers, having better toilets, having better braking system, having more charging points, better ventilation, all kind of things that we have learned from the experience of Vande Bharat and Amrit Bharat will be implemented in upgrading these coaches. The cost will be about 15,000 crore over a period of 5 years, and we have the capability, we have the capacity to do so, and now we have the experience of doing it.
Yeah. Last quick question. A common person asks that if the government is doing so well, if so many people have been pulled out of the multidimensional poverty index, if we are doing better, providing jobs, then why does the Modi government, even in this budget, have to reassert that it has and will provide free ration to 80 crore people?
Listen, free ration to 80 crore people is a very important food security program. Look at any country. We are a country which is today a developing country. Look at the countries which are rich, prosperous and had developed decades ago. Even in those countries, there are very big food security programs. We must look at the food security in the context in which food security should be seen. Our country, we need food security because food security puts an element in human nature. Once you have food security, you start taking risks. You can take better, you can go out in a significantly better way compared to the past, where you can start, suppose somebody wants to start out as a contractor. Food security is there, you can start taking risks. You can start developing entrepreneurship. It's a very important element of our approach towards economy. It's humane, it's inclusive, it supports basic necessities of life, and I think this is a very, very significant point.
Well, Mr. Ashwini Vaishnav, thank you very much. Sense of confidence that the government's coming back in all the statements of the ministers and the finance minister in Parliament today. Mr. Vaishnav, thank you very much. Thank you, sir. And now, going back to the debate, Mr. Ravinder Dhal of the Congress, I think the government wants to put out a comparison of 2024 versus 2014. I think it's a good idea. I think it will be very embarrassing for the Congress, right? And I think it will put a sense of finality to the ongoing debate of what the government has done. What do you think?
No, I don't think so. There will be any embarrassment if the actual and realistic comparison instead of propaganda is done. Then yes, definitely there will be embarrassment for BJP, not for Congress, not at all for Congress, because it is the Congress party which
What is
has
the
actually
propaganda? Can
made
you
up
just explain
and
to me?
brought the
If you
India
understand the
and
economy, why don't you explain what is the
present
propaganda?
system has been developed by Congress, not by BJP. Yes, they have definitely spoiled it. There is no doubt about it. The only saying that they have done few things for just like they are saying that we are adding 38 kilometers of road per day, ignoring the fact that if we are comparing that time with current time and their way of measurement of the road, then Congress was doing it at 30 kilometers per day, but they will not do that. They are saying that we will bring out white paper of finances. Yes, we support that, but you should also bring white paper for finances for BJP also, not for Congress. Then let us see where the comparison is lying. They should say
Can I
that
just
yes,
respond?
Congress was also developing 30 kilometers of road per day, but they are acknowledging that BJP is doing at 38
Let me respond
kilometers
to
per day.
this
There is not
white
much
paper
difference.
business.
See, toll tax is much higher than that time. The petrol, diesel prices,
So 1 minute, 1 minute, 1
prices
minute.
are much higher than
1
that
minute,
time.
1 minute.
They are taking tax.
What-
They are
what-
taking
Mr.
road
Dhal,
tax.
Mr. Dhal,
They are
Mr.
taking,
Dhal.
everything.
But
Yet the development is much below the expectation
Yeah,
which
Mr. Dhal,
India needs.
okay,
What
Mr.
is
Dhal.
what are the prices
Mr.
of the vehicle
Dhal,
at that time?
let Zafar respond. Let Zafar respond to you and maybe give a counter.
Yes.
Arnab, why it is very, very important to come out with a white paper? You know why? In 2000, let me give you some background. I think my colleague or my friend from Congress will understand it better and he will understand the perspective. In 2013, it's not a hidden fact. The world was fully aware that India is a fragile economy and among the 5 fragile economy. And more importantly, since 2000, you just do a back testing and you'll realize since 1947 to 2006, the size of public sector banks, the balance sheet size of the public sector banks was merely 18 lakh crore. Merely in 6 years or 7 years, from 2006 to 2013, it ballooned to 52 lakh crore. How? All the loans were sanctioned based on not credit evaluation process, but based on the phone banking or the recommendation which was made through the Prime Minister office or the Tenjan path. Eventually what happened, what it led to huge NPAs and that is what we inherited. But at that point in time, the Honorable Prime Minister had the option to come out with a white paper and expose Congress party, how they have mismanaged the economy and how they have used bank to extract money and make money through unfair practices. But because nation is first our policy, our party's policy, so we thought it is important to first fix the problem. So we recapitalized the bank. We came out with some important structural, some important legislation to contain the NPAs. We also ensured that banks are healthy and lending is done based on the credit evaluation process. Unlike in the past, 67% of the loan which was given between 2006 2013. Actually, if you just do the analysis, you will realize that EBITDA of those 67% of the companies were negative EBITDA. So from day one, they were not performing. They were not able to generate enough cash to service those debts. So eventually, everything became NPAs. We managed NPAs. We came out of this mess. Today, banks are in a very healthy position. Banks are the credit offtake is going up. The banks are lending now. The capital adequacy ratio is very high. The bank's health is very good. So now it is the time to come out with a white paper to expose Congress. What was the issue at that point in time? Why we, based on the nation first policy, why we didn't come out with white paper now? Now why we are coming now? Because people can see from their own eyes how it was mismanaged by Congress, how they made money through unfair practices, how they looted the bank, and today banks in a such a comfortable position purely because lending is done based on merit, not on the phone banking. And that's why Honorable Prime Minister from day one said,
you made a strong point on banks.
No party man can approach a bank for arranging a loan. So
you made a point on
banks. This is what we have proposed.
Zafar, I want to ask the Congress leader. I want to ask the Congress leader, and before that I want to say, viewers, if this country has to grow, look around you. You see airports, you see roads, you see development, you see flyovers, you see bridges. Accept it. 10 years back and now the country feels different. Most parts of the country. Of course, there are certain pockets where development is lower, infrastructure is lower. That is sometimes for considerations of the state government. Now, to build all of this, you need money. And the fact is, the Congress party did not put money to building the country's infrastructure. They made a lot of money themselves. Their leaders are very, 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 very rich. Ravinder, you will accept. But there was no money for roads, bridges, urban settlements and flyovers. In fact, let me tell you, Ravinder, the Congress government in 2014 interim budget reduced plan expenditure by 80,000 crores, killing all the productive government expenditure of the government. Why? Because you had messed up the economy under the great Manmohan Singh so much that the only way to control the deficit numbers and to make them look okay and acceptable was by almost reducing capital expenditure by a great deal. Was that not a disservice to the people of the country, Ravinder? Did you ask the people of the country that, look here, we've mismanaged the economy so much, you won't get your bridge, you won't get your road, you won't get your development? And at that point of time, you had 1.87 lakh crores in capex. Now it's 111,000 crores. Where's the comparison? See, Ravinder, accept it. Congress leaders became very rich, but airports were looking bad, roads did not exist, bridges were not complete. That's the difference between then and now. One example, please respond.
I am responding to the infrastructure question. They are saying that they built 38 kilometer road per day. That is what BJP is claiming. In their proportionate, Congress was developing 30 kilometers.
Answer my point on capex. Answer my specific point on capex allocations in 2014 as opposed to now.
We are also developing the roads. What Delhi is seen right now.
Did you not slash plan expenditure by 80,000 crores to manage your fiscal deficit? Did you not cut your plan expenditure by 80,000 crores to adjust your fiscal deficit? Yes or no?
It is not the case that Congress didn't build the expressway.
You didn't have the money for it.
We were having money and we spent. That's what I'm saying, that if they are bringing the white paper, I'm saying yes, they should bring, but they should bring white paper of BJP also. That how they have developed, how they have misled, how they. This is what I'm not saying. In November, it is CAG which is saying.
One last
just say the expressway around Delhi.
I think
what they have done.
You should allow
what
me to
cabinet has approved 19 crore per kilometer was.
I mean, we are happy. I mean, let me respond to him.
And what
we are happy.
200 crore per kilometer.
No, we are happy.
Isn't that mismanagement of the funds?
No, we are happy.
Where that fund is going?
Listen.
I'm asking.
Listen, I do not want to do tutu meme here, but let me respond to you.
Please say.
We are happy.
Say,
If
yes,
you want to come out with a white paper,
BJP also.
no, allow me. No,
accept it.
If you really listen to me. Listen to me. If you really want to come out with a white paper about our 10 years, please do that.
You are in government.
You will automatically realize that no. Listen, allow me to complete. You will automatically realize that your 10 years of UPA and your 10 years of NDA, there's a contrast. You have mismanaged economy while very efficiently managed by us. And on what basis I'm saying? You will have to see all the fundamentals, macroeconomic fundamentals, and you will realize that how terrible it was at that point in time on how strong it is looking now. Tell me which number you want to talk and we can discuss about it. But understand, that
Let's discuss
white
about
saying
GDP.
white paper, come out with white paper. We welcome. Come on. You will realize we are doing everything.
Let's discuss about
keeping
GDP,
interests, keeping nation as our first priority. People as our first priority.
Yeah, we discuss about
not
the GDP.
family, not the.
I'm discussing about
okay.
GDP
No,
of
if you
India.
discuss on the GDP, yeah, if you discuss about GDP, and I'll close with it, 10 years back we were the 10th largest economy with 1.9 trillion at current market prices. Today we are the 5th largest, going to be the 3rd largest at 3.8 trillion at current market prices. So where is the comparison out here? Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, so I'll wait for the big budget in July. I will wait for the big budget in July, but the big political story is what's happening in Jharkhand, ladies and gentlemen. Is there going to be a change in government after the arrest of Hemant Soren? In a few minutes, the big political story and that debate.
Amity has been ranked India's #1 not-for-profit private university for 11th year, with top 10 ranked institutions in management, engineering, biotech, law, masscom, telecom, hospitality, fashion and more. Yet another top ranking for Amity University.
This is Republic Niva Bupa Studio, your one stop for all the breaking news updates, and I am Nikita Sahai.
This is Republic Niva Bupa Studio, your one stop for all the breaking updates. I am Rakshita Mishra.
This is Republic Niva Bupa Studio, your one stop for all the breaking news updates, and I am Nikita Sahai.
This is Republic Niva Bupa Studio, your one stop for all the breaking updates. I am Rakshita Mishra.
This is Republic Niva Bupa Studios, your one-stop destination for all the breaking news updates, and I am Shivangi Shukla.
I am very, very happy to announce that Niva Bupa Health Insurance has come on board as Republic TV's studio partner. Viewers, Niva Bupa Health Insurance is the fastest growing company among standalone health insurance players in India. It has also provided health insurance coverage to 1.1 crore people in India and settled over 15 lakh claims, processing one claim every 60 seconds. So we are delighted to be partnering with them.
QS and THE, the world's foremost university rankings organizations, have ranked Amity amongst the top 3% universities globally, making it among the very few Indian universities to be included in both rankings. Yet another top ranking for Amity University.
This is Republic Niva Bupa Studio, your one stop for all the breaking news updates, and I am Nikita Sahai.
This is Republic Niva Bupa Studio, your one stop for all the breaking updates. I am Rakshita Mishra.
This is Republic Niva Bupa Studios, your one-stop destination for all the breaking news updates, and I am Shivangi Shukla. This is Republic Niva Bupa Studios, your one-stop destination for all the breaking news updates, and I am Shivangi Shukla.
Amity has been ranked India's #1 not-for-profit private university for 11th year, with top 10 ranked institutions in management, engineering, biotech, law, masscom, telecom, hospitality, fashion and more. Yet another top ranking for Amity University.
This is Republic Niva Bupa Studios, your one-stop destination for all the breaking news updates, and I am Shivangi Shukla.
the Delhi studios of Republic TV, it's time for Arnab Goswami on the debate.
The debate at 10, powered by Reba University, Quick Heal Secrite, Green Lamb, Policy Bazaar, co-powered by Samsung S24, 99acres.com.
One stop for all the breaking news updates, and I am Nikita Sahai.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. Now it's time for the nation's sharpest opinion. Now, all kinds of things are being said about what happened in Jharkhand, but nobody, I can think of absolutely not a single sensible person who has said that Hemant Soren and the JMM government has not carried out the worst of corruption. The interesting thing in all these cases, including the land for jobs scam that Lalu and his son face, or the Hemant Soren scam, is that actually there is no denial of the fact that corruption took place. There is almost an acceptance of guilt. The only question